Overlooking Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, the Wareham Gatemen are on the road for the second to last time in the 2024 season. Ethan Eibe and Kyle Marchak with you on the Gatemen Baseball Network pregame show here on Cape League TV. As well, they'll send Brock Eddy to the mound, the right-hander out of Arizona State, cut up with Madison Walker pregame.
Thanks, guys. I'm Madison Walker. I'm here with our starter today, Brock Eddy. So, Brock, we've seen you on the mound before, but we've never got to see you start. How are you feeling about starting for the first time for Wareham today?
I'm excited to start. I started in Virginia in the Valley League. Shout out Culpeper, but excited to get back into a routine, Hopefully get the boys a win.
Right, we're definitely needing a win. I was talking to the guys that are kind of fired up today. So how are you feeling? Is the team kind of hyping you up for your first start? You getting fired up for the day?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be good to get back in the win column and get the boys going before playoffs.
So what is your pregame routine on days like this? How do you get prepared for your start?
Just do a lot of stretching, just get mentally ready.
Any superstitions?
No, I don't have any.
No? Well, what pitches should we expect from you today, and what do you kind of know about this lineup? Is it going to change your pitching style at all?
I don't know much about the lineup, but just fill up the zone, throw a lot of fastballs and curveballs, just mix it up.
So I have to know, did you get Chipotle before the game? Most starters do, and it gives them good luck.
I didn't. I don't have a car, so it's kind of hard for me to get around. So.
Okay, so what was your pregame meal?
Some chicken nuggets and some vegetables.
Oh, wow. Did you make them yourself?
It was in an air fryer.
Oh, wow. Like dino nuggets or regular nuggets?
They're just regular.
So not as cool.
No.
Any sauce?
Just ketchup.
What a life. Very, very interesting. I love it. Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Madison. Brock Eddy making his first start for the Gatemen this season. It'll be his third appearance. His first couple in relief have been solid. No earned runs allowed over 4 2/3 innings. And Kyle, he mentioned his pregame meal, chicken nuggets and vegetables. It really doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Oh, that's a breakfast of champions, I guess. But hey, whatever he's eaten, he should just keep eating it because he's been very solid as a reliever so far, and I'm excited to see him in his first start.
Yeah. He'll be facing Lucas Hartman out of Florida Gulf Coast. He's making his second appearance. Last pitched on July 25th against the Bourne Braves. 3 earned runs allowed over 3 2/3 innings. Now, refocusing on the Gatemen and this offense that has been sputtering as of late. Just 3 hits yesterday at Bourne, but a couple of guys to watch. Eli Putnam's on a 5-game hitting streak. Yohan Desro's got hits in 11 out of his last 13.
Yeah, Yohan Desro and Eli Putnam are the guys that are really being the savior of an otherwise dwindling lineup during this stretch. Putnam, 5-game hitting streak, as you said, back-to-back games with homers, and also an 8-game on-base streak. He's just reaching base safely at an unprecedented rate for himself right now. Then Yohan Desro, he's now a qualified hitter in the league. He's hit the innings limit or the games limit, and so all of a sudden he just enters himself into the top 10 of the batting average leaders too. He's got a .333 batting average so far, top 5 in the league, and in the second half he's hitting over .380, so he's been red hot as well.
Yes, he has been. It's a battle between two teams that have already clinched here in the 2024 postseason. Wareham entering at 20-15-1, looking to snap that 4-game skid, and Chatham at 500. They're 18-18. It's the Anglers and the Gatemen live from Veterans Field. 7 o'clock first pitch on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Throwing out tonight's first pitch on the Wayside Inn Wild Goose Tavern sponsorship night is Juan Carlos Polino Valera, also known as JC. JC hails from Dominica Summersley, and throughout his baseball career, he primarily played third base. JC was good enough to play professional ball in the minor league systems of the New York Yankees, the Kansas City Royals, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, reaching the AA level before wrapping up his baseball career in 2008 after getting married. JC has been a member of the Wild Goose Tavern family since 2014 and is loved by locals and visitors alike. So JC, whenever you're ready, fire away. That's a strike. Thank you, JC, and to the Wayside Inn, home of the Wild Goose Tavern, for sponsoring tonight's game. Tonight's sponsor, the Wayside Inn, also is home to a tremendous restaurant, the Wild Goose Tavern. Meet us at the Goose to experience the culinary artistry at the newly renovated Wild Goose Tavern. Rooted in its coastal heritage, the restaurant boasts an expanded bar and a refreshed modern ambiance while retaining its inherent charm. Step into a vibrant space adorned with captivating murals promising an unforgettable dining experience. Savor a variety of tantalizing dishes, including our famed goose fries, from our new menus which feature innovative twists on American pub classics along with expertly crafted beverages. So whether you're visiting the inn for a romantic weekend getaway or just a fantastic dinner at the Goose, the Chatham Wayside Inn will be a truly remarkable experience. Please rise for tonight's national anthem. Singing tonight's national anthem is Lila Gurry, a 12-year-old from Brookline, Mass. Lila spends her summers in Chatham and loves sailing and stage harbor. Her other loves are musical theater and competitive swimming. She's thrilled to be back for her third summer in a row singing the national anthem at a Chatham Anglers game here at Veterans Field. With tonight's national anthem, Lila Gurry.
Oh, say, can you sing by the dawn's early light what so proudly we'd hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we'd watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Lila Gurry with another outstanding rendition of the national anthem. Good luck this year in school. Good luck with swimming and musical theater. And we look forward to seeing you back at Veterans Field soon. Lila Gurry. Thanks again.
With 4 games left in the 2024 Cape Cod League season, the Wareham Gatemen find themselves at Veterans Field in Chatham as they make their penultimate road stop of the regular season campaign. Ethan Eibe alongside Kyle Marchak on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Our sideline reporter tonight, Madison Walker, and our producers, Joseph Patrick Henry and Allison DeWitt. The Wareham Gatemen looking to snap a 4-game skid that has seen them slide to 3rd place in the Cape League West Division. Kyle, with just a few games left until the playoffs begin. Now is the time for things to get right.
Yeah, it's about seeding, right? There's still only a game back from the next team in the West, which is the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And if they go on a little bit of a streak to close out the rest of the 4 games in this regular season, what they're fighting for is home field advantage in the postseason.
Gatemen come in with a record of 20-15-1, and they're up against a 500 club in the Chatham Anglers that sit at 18-18. They have also clinched a spot in the Cape League playoffs. They are second in the Eastern Division. Chatham will send Lucas Hartman of Western Kentucky to the mound today, and he'll face this starting lineup for Ryan Smythe's Gatemen. Leading things off is the Johan Dessereau designated hitter out of Stetson. Michael Lippy, the center fielder out of Louisville, hits second. Reese Chapman, the right fielder out of Tennessee, hits third. It's Davidson's Eli Putnam, one of the hotter bats in this order, in the cleanup spot, playing third base for the first time all season. Nate Early out of Louisville at first base, hitting fifth. Louisville's Byram Hott, the shortstop, sixth, with Aris Rivera catching, hitting seventh out of UCF. It's West Virginia's Sam White in left field, batting eighth. And rounding out the order, Colby Turner, the second baseman, batting ninth out of Michigan. Gatemen coming off a loss to their 4th dropped game in a row over at Bourne yesterday, a game where they only put up 3 hits. It's been an offensive group that struggled as of late, but 2 saving graces have been Johan Dessereau at the top of the order and Eli Putnam as well, Kyle.
Yeah, they've been great. I mean, Eli Putnam on a hot streak right now, a 5-game hitting streak, an 8-game on-base streak. He's hitting 380 in this 8-game streak that he's continued to reach base as well. He's got back-to-back games with homers, and Johan Dessereau, man, well, I mean, how many flowers can we give this kid? He earned an all-star bid for someone that some people just didn't really notice, and that's because he showed up a week late in the season. But man, when he showed up, he really showed up, and just now is he on the leaderboards for offensive stats because he's just finally caught up to the game qualifications, and we can finally appreciate him on a league-wide scale. He's the 5th best hitter by average in the league.
Yeah, truly incredible to see the run that Johan Dessereau has gone on, perhaps overshadowed by Bobby Bozer over the first half of the season, but Dessereau has certainly made a mark of his own. As I said, it's Lucas Hartman of Western Kentucky, the right-hander, on the mound as the catcher Campbell Smithwick throws down the final warm-up pitch. The stats for Hartman this season, not too much to speak of, just 1 game under his belt in the Cape League level. It was back on July 25th against the Bourne Braves. He tossed 3 2/3 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. As he deals with Dessereau, who climbs into the left-handed box, a beautiful early evening from Chatham, Massachusetts. The sun setting over the treetops at 78 degrees, and the first pitch, a called strike at the knees, 0-1 to Dessereau. First pitch, just a shade past 7 o'clock. It's 7:04 here at Chatham. Dessereau out of Stetson takes and drives this one out towards right field. This one sending back the right fielder Ashton Larson, and just a step ahead of the track in right center, he makes the catch. Had to drift over for that one. Dessereau put a charge into it, but it's allowed out number 1 nonetheless.
Dessereau hits a ball hard to start the game. Water is wet.
This is very true. Dessereau is making some incredibly hard contact as of late, as Michael Lippy stands in, batting from the right side against the righty on the hill. A quick out number 1 here. Hartman deals, and a wave and a miss. This is a very different looking lineup today for Ryan Smythe's group. Both Antonio Jimenez and Murph Gray are on the bench. We haven't seen those 2 guys together on the bench, I don't think, at any point this season.
Yeah, talk about
swing and a miss, 0-2.
Talk about Smythe just trying to change things up.
He did bench both of them in the middle of the Bourne game yesterday, not for any disciplinary reason, simply to try to ignite a spark in this lineup. As the pitch is swung on and missed, dropped by the catcher Smithwick. He applies the tag on Lippy for out number 2. Lippy down on 3 pitches, 2 up, 2 down to begin this ball game. Just underway from Chatham, we are scoreless at Veterans Field. And here's Reese Chapman out of Tennessee, Gateman right fielder, looking to keep this first inning going. Jimenez had struck out 3 times yesterday at Bourne when he was replaced with Byram Hott. Murph Gray was substituted with Colby Turner. It's the first pitch to Chapman. He takes, and it's just up high, ball 1. American flag hanging out beyond the center field wall, drifting ever so slightly out to right center. Second pitch of the at-bat is driven out to right center field. Going after this one, Ty Johnson, and he closes it down and runs into it for out number 3. A 1-2-3 frame for Lucas Hartman of Western Kentucky. The Gatemen go down quietly in the top of the first. Anglers coming up for their first hacks in a scoreless ball game from Veterans Field when we come back on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Whatever your technology needs are, Secure One can help. Learn more at SecureOne.com. SecureWON.com.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower, the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts, and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and stewardship. For 170 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Attention baseball fans, are you ready to hit a financial home run? PCT Federal Credit Union is here tonight to make your dreams of home ownership and driving off in that new car a reality. Their unbeatable low rates on mortgage and auto loans are a win for everybody. Whether you're rounding the bases to buy your first home or looking to upgrade your ride, PCT Federal Credit Union has got your back. Swing by their tent before you leave or visit their website to learn more about how they can help you step up to the plate and score big on your financial goals.
The AD Makepeace Company also owns and operates Reed Custom Soils, the area's leading manufacturer of custom soils, including CU Structural Soil and Rooflight Certified Green Roof Media. Reed Custom Soil is also a manufacturer and distributor of baseball infield mix and conditioners. To learn more, visit www.reedcustomsoils.com.
Back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. To the bottom of the first we go at Chatham, a scoreless ball game between the Gatemen and the Anglers. Here's how the Anglers line this one up today behind new manager Eric Beattie. Chayton Krause to lead things off, playing third base. Ashton Larson, the right fielder, hits second. Robin Villeneuve, the first baseman, third. Catcher Campbell Smithwick cleans up. Jaden Davis, the second baseman, fifth. Ty Johnson in the sixth spot in center field. Kyle O'Deese, the shortstop, seventh. Jordan Williams in left field, eighth, with Daniel Daxon DHing and batting ninth. As the first pitch, a called strike up in the zone to Chayton Krause. As we see the first Cape League start for Brock Eddy, the right-hander out of Arizona State, making his third appearance on the young season. And there's a wave and a miss. Nice job pulling the string there. Quickly 0-2 on Krause, who's out of Dallas Baptist. Righty against righty. Eddy with the sign from Aris Rivera, the pitch. And he bounces that one. It kicks away to the on-deck circle. Eddy, a guy who has impressed over his short two-game season. Both games in relief, 4 2/3 innings combined. Just 2 hits allowed, and more importantly, Kyle, no earned runs.
Yeah, well, first of all, way to sneak that lineup in there. Huh?
Bang.
You got that in right before the first pitch. And then, it's really promising to see that he's done well over lengthy outings as well. His first outing, 4 innings scoreless.
1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball popped up. Foul ground, first base side. It'll find the seats. His first outing was simply spectacular against Orleans back on the 23rd of July. A 4-inning save where he struck out 3 and allowed just 1 hit and 1 walk. The 1-2 again. Swing and a miss. Went upstairs to get Krause swinging for out number 1. Nice start for Eddy.
That's what he does. He's very good at changing levels. He has a live fastball that can touch 95, but for the most part, he'll sit in the low 90s. And he's just got your basic 1-2-3 mix.
Here's Ashton Larson next, the right fielder out of LSU. Gateman went down quietly in the first inning. Desro and Lippy and Chapman all put away by Lucas Hartman. First offering on the way. And it misses down for ball 1. The defensive alignment for the Gatemen in the outfield, Sam White in left, Michael Lippy in center, and Reese Chapman in right. The infield, third to first, Eli Putnam, Byram Hott, Colby Turner, and Nate Early, with Aris Rivera behind the plate. First second pitch is fouled straight back. It hits over the screen and into the trees behind us here.
Yeah, these foul balls are going to find more trees than seats. They've tucked all the seats right behind home plate.
This is a very intimate ballpark setting here at Chatham. One of the more well-known fields across the Cape League, as this one rolled over to the right side. Early to pick it up. Underhand toss to first with the pitcher covering. And Eddy is going to get there in time for out number 2. Nice effort there from Early and Eddie. Double E's combining for out number 2.
Oh, yeah. Nate Early over at first. You just haven't seen that often yet. He's planning on playing first base at Louisville. He has yet to get his first licks with the Cardinals, just transferred from Florida Southwestern. But he gets, those reps in pregame all the time.
So here's Robin Villeneuve, the first baseman out of Texas Tech. Nobody aboard and 2 away in the bottom of the first, no score. And the first pitch at the knees, a breaking ball, a called strike 1. Villeneuve with hits in 3 ball games in a row for Chatham, a group that has seen tremendous turnover this season. It's been a rocky year over on the eastern side as this one belted out to right center field. This will send Lippy all the way back to the wall. He looks up, and it is gone. Robin Villeneuve's second home run of the season deposited out to right center field onto the berm out there, and an early 1-0 lead for the Chatham Anglers.
Well, he just saw the fastball up, and Eddie did not leave it high enough. That was most definitely in the zone and maybe a ball's length below the top edge. And left it middle, so he got all of that one.
So that brings up Campbell Smithwick, the Anglers' backstop out of Ole Miss. Chatham with an early 1-0 lead on the Gatemen here with 2 away in the bottom of the first. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. I was beginning to talk about the tremendous turnover that Chatham has seen this year. Only 5 players of their original roster remain on this team with 4 games left in the regular season. The 0-1. His chop foul up the first base side. Quickly 0-2.
Yeah, that's the Cape for you, I guess.
Gateman saw turnover quite like that a year ago. Hasn't been that way this season, thankfully. The 0-2 coming. Sales up high 1-2. Gatemen still have several players from their opening day roster that have stuck around. Of course, the turnover is something that impacts all Cape League teams, regardless of how well you recruit. The 1-2. Just off the plate outside to the left-handed hitter. 2-2 to Smithwick. Good teams find ways to create depth, create opportunity for new guys. As the 2-2 delivery. A slider well located, but just off the plate again. He's really trying to work the outside part of the plate to Smithwick, and it's a full count.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get those off speeds away from the lefties here after leaving that fastball up to the righty.
Eddie with the sign from Rivera. Working from the stretch here with nobody on, and now he steps off. Gatemen in their red uniforms today. The Maroons, the Navy Gatemen outlined in white across the chest, and the Navy numbers on the back outlined in white as well. Navy caps with the red W atop, gray pants as well. And the Anglers in their home blues, white pants with pinstripes. The white Chatham across the chest, red numbers on the fronts and the backs. 3-2 from Eddie. Breaking ball, got a piece of it, he fouls it back. And away go the kids as they chase after that foul ball like little sharks when you throw a piece of bread into the water.
They scare me.
I mean, it's instantaneous. They see contact and they go for it. Payoff pitch again is flipped right into the screen behind home plate. So quite an at-bat here for Campbell Smithwick, who continues to battle. This will be pitch number 8 of this at-bat coming up next from Eddie, who has thrown 17 pitches in this first inning. It's 1-0 Chatham on a solo shot from Robin Villeneuve of Texas Tech. 3-2 again. And a little roller up along the third base side. Putnam charging, bare hands and throws to first, and it's in time. Has that guy played third base before? Maybe so. Eli Putnam, a nice play there for out number 3, and it sends us to the top of the second inning. A 1-0 lead for the Chatham Anglers on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby. Located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham, call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs. Mastria Auto Group. Whether you need sales, parts, or service, call Mastria Auto Group for all your Kia, Cadillac, Mazda, VW, Subaru, and Nissan needs. Mastria delivers. www.mastria.com.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding area since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Looking to buy or sell real estate in the South Shore, South Coast, or Cape Cod area? Joanne Stevenson has been selling Massachusetts since 2000. Specializing in residential real estate, she is a part of the #1 Berkshire Hathaway Robert Paul team. Whether you are looking for your first home, vacation home, or relocating, call Joanne Stevenson, your local Wareham agent, for all your real estate needs. A proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. Back here at Chatham, we go to the top of the second inning. The Wareham Gatemen will bring the sticks back up to the plate, down 1-0 to the Chatham Anglers. A solo shot from Robin Villeneuve, the first baseman out of Texas Tech for Chatham, giving them a 1-0 lead early on. Ethan Eibe and Kyle Marchak with you. We just saw a terrific play from Eli Putnam to end the bottom half of the first inning, and he'll be due up first here in this one. He'll be followed by Nate Early and Byram Hott. How about that play from Eli Putnam? Fielding a slow roller off the bat of Campbell Smithwick, bare-handing it, in fact, and throwing on the mark at first base. This guy apparently has played some third base before, Kyle.
Yeah, it looks like a third baseman. His debut in the hot corner for the Gatemen, but he is making a legit play on that one.
He's split time between first and third base over at Davidson College. Majority of his time at first base, of course. That's the position we've seen him at pretty much all year long here at Wareham, as the pitch misses up and outside. Ball 1 from Lucas Hartman of Western Kentucky, who sent down the Gatemen in order in the top half of the first. Putnam the cleanup man, and he is one of the hottest bats in this Gatemen order. The 1-0. Fouled straight back, 1-1. He's got hits in 7 of his last 8 and 5 straight ball games. 10 for 26 in that span. That's a .385 average. He popped his 5th homer of the year yesterday at Bourne. 1-1 coming. Roller up along the first baseline. That head's foul. So 1-2 on Putnam. Finds himself now with the 3rd best slugging percentage in the league, top 5 in OPS, and tied for the 2nd most extra base hits in all of the Cape League. Guy who has mostly flown under the radar, him and Yohan Desero.
I have a major league comp for him.
1-2, sails high above the zone, evens the count. What's your comp?
Well, he's got home run pop. We've seen that. But in terms of just his ability to find gaps, give me Alec Boehm.
Alec Boehm, you and your Phillies, huh?
Doubles hitter.
Yeah, I could see it. 2-2 deal. Swing and a miss for strike 3, putting him down. That's the 2nd strikeout for Lucas Hartman. Only thing about that comp, Kyle, is that Alec Boehm was once a Falmouth Commodore.
Oh, you're right. Shoot.
We have to think of
I'll
where
do my
comps.
research. All right, I'll do my research.
Now, at the major league level, I would understand it. Nate Early at the dish now, first baseman for the Gatemen. 4 down to start this ball game on the offensive side as the first pitch misses outside, ball 1. 1-0 Chatham, 1 away, nobody on in the top of the 2nd. The pitch misses down, 2-0. Early, a guy who has had a solid season and also flown under the radar. A .262 average. He's roped 7 doubles this year. He's got just 1 RBI to his credit. Pitch, and just outside, 3-0. Those doubles always seem to find themselves with nobody on base. 3-0 coming. And at the knees, a called strike. I mean, what other place are you going to see a guy who's got upwards of 5, 6, 7 doubles and no RBI tallies for him outside of the 1 home run he's hit this year? 3-1 is popped up. That one's sailing behind home plate, and that'll find the trees. There go the kids yet again.
You know, you and I have talked about it. We can sit here and yap about the intangibles. Oh, that's bad luck. I mean, but that is actually ridiculously bad luck. He just doesn't step up with guys on.
Early's not too worried about it, though. He says, you know, it'll all work out in the end. Payoff, swing, and a miss. Slider low and inside. He couldn't catch up to it, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Hartman. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 2nd.
They're just not seeing that slider right now. That's a righty and then a lefty that both struck out on the slider.
So Hartman will face Byram hot here. 2 away and nobody on in the top of the second. That slider sits around 80 miles an hour. He also works with a fastball in the low 90s, changeup in the mid 80s, and a curveball in the high 70s as the first pitch fouled away from Hot for strike 1. The book on him is that he mixes his pitches extremely well, but even with below average stuff, he is an incredible locator of his pitches. That's what we've seen early on here through the first 5 outs. The 0-1 misses up high, neck high to Hot. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Guy who has certainly bounced around Florida Gulf Coast, Florida Southwestern State, and Western Kentucky as a chopper hit towards short. Couple of hops for Kyle Lodis and the throw to first base in time. Out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Wareham Gatemen offense as we go to the last of the second. 1-0 Chatham here at Veterans Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off in 2024. And our first guest, as we get to know you, is Tony Pluta, a right-handed pitcher out of Arizona. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Tony. Well, you're from Chicago, so what brought you out west to Arizona?
So my recruiting coordinator at Arizona knew my high school coach really well and knows that whole area very well. So it's just kind of how I got connected with them.
Gotcha. So they reached out to you in high school. You told me you topped out at 95 in high school, so pretty easy to get noticed?
Yeah, that definitely helps. But, you know, going to all the tournaments and all that kind of thing helps.
Okay, well, on top of that, you've developed some accolades in your short career in college baseball so far. You were in the Northwoods last year, and then college ball treated you well in 2024. Your spring was pretty fun. How about that Pac-12 championship? What was that like?
It was amazing, especially being the last Pac-12 championship. It was an awesome feeling to win the last Pac-12 game ever.
Yeah, and then Brennan Summerhill, your Gateman teammate, hit the walk-off. So is it cool to share that moment with your Summer teammate as well?
Oh yeah, it's great. Every moment with Summer is something special, so it's great to have a teammate like that.
Speaking of Summer, you've been to a lot of different baseball destinations. This is kind of your first one for an extended period of time out east. Where does Wareham rank all time?
It's pretty great. I mean, the Northwoods was definitely its own thing, but I love Wareham. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. We made it to home plate, so my final question for you, what's the goal this summer?
Just pitch well, throw strikes, and get guys out.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. We'll catch you guys next week.
Back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV, going to the bottom of the second from Veterans Field in Chatham. A 1-0 Anglers lead here over the Gatemen. Ethan Eibe alongside Kyle Marchak as Jaden Davis stands in against Brock Eddy. Davis out of Vanderbilt, the second baseman. He'll be followed by Ty Johnson and Kyle Lodis. Righty against righty, Eddy winds and deals. And the first pitch hits the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Chatham got off to a hot start in the first inning. A solo home run for Robin Villeneuve of Texas Tech with 2 outs off of Eddy. He blasted one to right center field. Pitch misses in the dirt, 1-1. Davis on a nice little hitting streak of his own. He's got 4 of his last 5 games with hits recorded. The 1-1 in the dirt again, ball 2. Eddy with a sign from Eris Rivera. Into the wind, he twirls it home. A swing and a miss. Powered it by him that time. It's 2-2. Eddy making his first start of the season, his 3rd appearance, the right-hander out of Arizona State. Locks in against Davis. His 2-2 delivery. Sails above the zone, neck high, and a full count.
Well, he changes levels there. I mean, he's throwing the slider for a strike. We'll see if he tries to go with it here or just stick to the heater up high.
Into the windup, the payoff. Driven out towards right field, tailing towards the corner. Chapman going over. It is going to clang off the wall. Davis slips and falls at first base. Now he's on his way to second. The throw from Chapman, not in time. Davis gets around the tag. Somehow, some way. After the slip and fall at first base, he makes his way to second for a leadoff double, and hopefully he's all right.
Whoa, what a sequence of events there. Can we just talk about the action on that ball first?
Yes.
I mean, you hit that the other way. It looked like it was destined to land without any movement over the right fielder's head. That thing sliced all the way to the pole. I mean, it almost landed foul. If the wall weren't there, it would have landed past, the imaginary line of fair territory. That thing just sliced away from Chapman.
There was a lot of English on that ball, a whole lot of spin. And it looks like Davis is going to be all right to continue. Just lost his footing around the first base bag. Nearly was thrown out trying to advance to second base. Chapman has a rocket of an arm. And the throw, it appeared to have beat him as well, but somehow Davis got around the tag. So he's at second. Corner infielder is in for Ty Johnson. Pitch, and that's a changeup just above the zone for ball one. So Chatham looking to score early and often here against the Gatemen. They have a runner in scoring position. Righty on the mound against the lefty at the plate. Pitch. Call it a strike. Belt high fastball from Eddie. 1-1.
Man, that double would have been a home run at Fenway Park.
Probably would have been. It's 3:14 down the right field line here at Veterans Park. Eddie working from the first base side of the rubber. Spins and fires to second. No one covering the bag. The throw went to the shortstop, Byram Hott. No one was there to receive that pickoff throw. But it does the job of keeping Davis close.
That might be a situation where you just forget about the runner, though.
He takes a decent lead off of second base. 7-8 steps off the bag. Hot in the area. Here's the 1-1. And a tapper right back to the mound over Eddie's head. Charging in Desero. Picking this one up, it's Turner. And it's an infield single. How about that for some luck? Pure luck for Ty Johnson. That little chopper right over the pitcher's mound. Turner charged in, but there was no play. Runners on the corners and nobody out.
Yeah, I'll throw that word luck out there and let it stick on the wall for a while. That's a three-hopper that just rainbows over the head of the pitcher, doinks into the grass, and then dies.
And Brock Eddy's a tall drink of water. He's 6'3" on that mound, and that chopper went over his head. So now an opportunity for Kyle Lodis, one of the few players that has stuck around this Chatham roster the entire season. Mentioned only 5 of the original group has been here all summer long. First pitch misses up for ball one. This is a team that has not fared well in runners in scoring position situations. Just a .228 clip. That's 9th in the league, second to last. But they have runners on the corners and nobody out. Throw over to first just to check on Johnson, as we've got some seagulls flying around Veterans Field here. 3 or 4 of them diving around the infield area. Brock Eddy comes set. Righty on righty, the 1-0. Starts to go around. It's a called strike anyways, evens the count.
I hope these birds circling means that the Anglers' bats are dead now.
Well, don't know what they're hunting for, but they've made their way, and they're flying around the ballpark now. The 1-1. Slow curveball. It finds the top of the zone for a called strike 2.
Oh, love that floater. Fed him something firm to start things off and said, watch this, and just completely changed speeds.
Johnson at first, Davis at third. Nobody out, 1-0 Chatham in the last of the second. 1 run on 3 hits for the Anglers, and they're looking to add on here early. 1-2 pitch. Now the breaking ball misses down and in to Lodis. It's 2-2. The splits on Lodis are pretty drastic. Hit .286 in the month of June. Just .210 in July. He's got his pants rolled up to just below the knees. The blue socks matching the jersey with the pinstripe pants. 2-2. Breaking ball called. Strike 3. Lodis down looking. Second strikeout for Brock Eddy, and a huge out number 1.
Oh, that's massive, and to do it in strikeout fashion is huge. Man, did he like that breaking ball that at bat against the righty.
He really threw that breaking ball a whole lot, and it finally caught Lodis as Jordan Williams makes his way to the plate now. Still runners on the corners, now with 1 away. Jordan Williams out of the University of Tampa making his Cape Cod League debut. A late addition to this Chatham roster, as well as the on-deck batter, Daniel Jackson of Georgia, both making their debuts tonight. Pitch shows bunt taken by Rivera, It is a swing on the missed bunt. It's strike one. Rivera hopped out in front of the plate to look the runners back. See how Eddie can work around this thing. He'd be looking for that ground ball double play.
Yep. Now he's got that one out of the way.
Gatemen have rolled the second fewest double plays as a pitching staff this year, just 15. As time is called, no, it is a pitch clock violation on Brock Eddy. And a ball awarded to Jordan Williams, so it's a 1-1 count. Eddy evidently missed the timer. Now here's the 1-1. A called strike at the knees. Nice slider there to Williams, 1-2. 1-0 Anglers here in the last of the second, looking for more. It's Ty Johnson at first, Jaden Davis at third. Leadoff double from Davis, an infield single from Johnson. 1-2 to Williams. It is swung on in line towards short, past the diving Byram Hot, base hit left center field. This will bring home Davis from third, up to second goes Johnson. 2-0 Chatham on the first Cape Cod League hit and RBI for Jordan Williams.
I mean, that's just a great at-bat. He got that slider on the back edge to sneak in for a strike and wanted to change speeds, but left that fastball middle again.
3 hits in this second inning for the Anglers. Brock Eddy looking to escape the jam as Daniel Jackson stands in. The DH out of the University of Georgia. He's a Bulldog. And he's making his debut as well. First and second, only one away. Now a 2-0 Anglers lead. First offering. Breaking ball grounded towards second in the hole. Turner, a dive. He has it from his knees to first. Got him there. Oh, what a play by Colby Turner. Robbing Jackson of a base hit, recording the second out of the frame.
That's big. I mean, you got to have your defense behind you today. I think Brock Eddy has shown that he can be a pitch-to-contact guy when his stuff isn't working. And for a ground ball like that to turn into an out, it's got to give him confidence.
It was a slow roller off the end of the bat, a lot of spin on it. Turner was able to get over a couple of steps to his left before the dive, and he barely nabbed that one. What a play for out number 2. As we go back to the top of the Anglers order, Chayton Krause. Second and third, 2 away. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. 2-0 Chatham here on 4 hits. 3 of them have come in this second frame. Brock Eddy's got 2 men in scoring position. He's looking to shut down the Anglers here. Righty on righty. Krause 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And the 0-1. Wave and a miss, strike 2. A breaking ball got him chasing.
I'm moving too fast. I can't see it.
Johnson at third, Williams at second. Both have pretty expansive leads with 2 away. Infield focused on the batter. 0-2 from Eddy. It is in the dirt. Nice take. And no swing ruled. It was a check swing there on Krause. Now 1-2. A nice block as well by Aris Rivera, who has really impressed with his defense over just a couple of games played for the Gatemen this summer. He's thrown out 3 base runners of the 5 that have tried. Eddy peering in for the sign. He comes set. Ball and glove waist high on 1-2. Swing and a miss. Right over the top of the curveball for strike 3. Make it 3 punch outs in the ball game for Brock Eddy. He strands a pair. Does allow a run, though. Jordan Williams, an RBI single to bring home Jaden Davis. And we're on our way to the third. An early 2-0 lead for Chatham on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our next installment of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're joined by a Wareham Gatemen infielder out of Fresno State, Murph Gray. You ready to roll?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, how was the Cape trip choose your destination this summer?
Honestly, pretty great. I love it out here. The weather's nice, the people are great, and I'm playing with some of the best, so I love it.
Warm weather, too, I guess kind of akin to California being from there?
Yeah, pretty similar. I'd say it's more humid here, but I mean, it's more dry heat in California.
Gotcha. All right. Well, before you were Mountain West Freshman of the Year, you had a pretty good high school athletic career. I heard you played basketball. Were you a good hooper?
Yeah, I was a decent hooper. I played some center, some power forward. I did all right.
Okay, you were kind of forcing that center role. I mean, you're 6'4", 6'5". I guess you were the tallest kid on the team?
Oh, yeah, for sure the tallest on the team, so I kind of got forced into that.
Okay. Well, another thing that you did that you don't do now was pitch in high school. Is it true that you tossed a perfect game?
Yeah, so that was our first game of the season. I tossed a perfect game, and it was honestly just kind of weird and surreal since I wasn't going to be a pitcher at the next level, so it was just...
And then where did that transition happen where you decided to just become a hitter?
I want to say about my junior year of high school, I was more focused on hitting, just becoming a better hitter, kind of bettering myself, and then I love hitting. It's my passion. So.
Well, you're pretty good at it. You're on a hot streak right now, and you hit 3 home runs in a matter of 48 hours at the beginning of this week, too. So we're glad to have you. My final note on that, to get to know you before we end this session, your birth certificate says Tristan. So where did the name Murph come from?
So the name Murph comes from the movie Like Mike, one of my favorite movies. Little white kid in there named Murph.
Back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV, we're on our way to the top of the third, and the Chatham Anglers with a 2-0 lead over the Wareham Gatemen. Here's Aris Rivera, the Central Florida catcher. First pitch, roll to first. On the backhand, it's bobbled by Robin Villeneuve. Throw to first from the second baseman is not in time. It ricocheted towards Jaden Davis, who tried to make a play on it, but Rivera beat it out at first.
Let's call it a single.
I'd like to think it is a single. There was definitely some spin on that thing. I mean, did you see how it took off the heel of the glove of the first baseman?
Yeah, and then it just, like, danced away.
Luckily, kicked away towards Davis, but he wasn't able to complete the play. We'll see how they rule it, and we'll let you know. As Sam White stands in. White, the 8-hole hitter. And it is a single for Aris Rivera. Just his second hit as a Gateman here in his third game. First pitch to White, swung on and missed, strike one. So the Gatemen finally getting their first hit tonight. They've been set down in pretty short order by Western Kentucky's Lucas Hartman, the right-hander back on the hill here. 3 punch-outs across his first 2 innings. 0-1 coming. Is lined out to right center field. Destined for the gap, it falls and rolls towards the gap. Rivera kicks second on his way to third. As the throw comes in, it's cut off. A base hit for Sam White, and runners on the corners with nobody out. A hot start.
Good hitters make good hitters, and when someone sees something, it gets passed along. So that's big. To get back-to-back knocks may be all that it takes for the Gatemen to start getting on a roll offensively right now.
So that brings up Michigan's Colby Turner, the 9-hole hitter for Wareham. We saw him pinch hit yesterday at Bourne. He's got hits in 4 of his last 7 games. Started heating up as we got into the latter half of July. And he's got a chance here to get the Gatemen on the scoreboard. Down 2-0 in the top of the third. Runners on the corners and nobody out. First pitch at the knees and a called strike. Turner was hitting below the Mendoza line for most of the first half of the year. He's now boosted the average to 235. White, a couple of steps off of first. The pitch, way outside, 1-1. First real trouble we've seen Lucas Hartman get into tonight as the sun sets over the trees beyond the left field wall. Trees make up most of the landscape down the left field line as the pitch misses down, 2-1. Those trees finish up around the left center gap, and then it's nothing but burn from center field all the way down to the right field foul pole, and even beyond that. A lot of lawn chairs tonight posted up along the sidewalk beyond the outfield wall, 2-1. Swing and a miss on the curveball, 2-2. And the firehouse sits beyond the right field wall. They call that Brendan Summerhill territory. It was Summerhill who had a grand slam here on the Gatemen's first visit to this ballpark back on June 27th. Here's the 2-2. A high check swing. Turner makes contact. It is foul. I mean, that was more of a, let me leave my bat up here and see if I hit it.
That was a herky-jerk swing. I think it was kind of a just-in-case type of thing. I think he saw it was breaking and wanted to throw the bat head out there to foul it off just in case it dipped down into the zone, and it stayed high. It was like letters high.
2-2 pitch. Line towards second, picked there by Davis, throw back to first, not in time. White able to get back in the nick of time there as the first out is recorded. Rivera holds his ground at third. Nice play there by Jaden Davis, robbing Turner of an RBI knock.
Tell you what, though, they're seeing the ball, and Turner with an interesting swing on that one. That was probably 2 balls lengths above the zone, but he's just trying to stay on top of the ball, and he really whacked that son of a gun.
Yeah, he really sent it to the opposite way. Unfortunately, a nice defensive effort there from Chatham as Yohan Dessereau back to the top of the order, and a great chance. Runners on the corners, Gatemen down by 2. It's 2-0 Chatham. Check on Sam White at first. He's back in safely. 1 run in each of the first 2 frames for the Anglers. A solo shot for Robin Villeneuve of Texas Tech. An RBI base hit for Jordan Williams in his debut out of Tampa. First offering to Desi. Swinging a roller, foul up the first base line. Dessereau 0 for 1, flew out to right field his first time. Really beautiful sunset has set in here at Chatham. As the evening grows, red-orange hue right atop those trees along the left field line. Another check on White, he's safe. American flag hanging just about limp beyond center field. And the Seagulls, for now, have dissipated. 0-1 to Dessereau, fake steal, swing and a miss. White jumped off of first, but it was just a bluff. So 0-2 on the Gatemen leadoff man. Gatemen finally getting their first couple of hits here in this ball game. Lucas Hartman ready to roll, the right-hander deals, and he misses up high, 1-2 to Dessereau.
Might be setting him up here. He's got Dessereau like way out in front in a couple of these off speeds. He leaves that fastball high. Probably going back to that breaker here.
Dessereau in the leadoff spot has been that guy. A .375 average when batting first. White and Rivera take their leads. 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Now White scampering up to second base. No throw from Smithwick. Now second and third for the Gatemen. With only 1 away, that eliminates the chance of the forced double play.
I love it.
White taking the extra 90 on the ball in the dirt. It didn't exactly skip too far out in front of Smithwick. But now a base hit here could tie this game up. They do rule it a wild pitch on Lucas Hartman. Working from the stretch, first base side of the rubber, he's ready. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball lofted out towards left field. Medium deep for Jordan Williams. Rivera ready to tag. The catch made. Rivera on his way home. The throw from Williams is a beauty, and Rivera is toast. That throw beat him by a mile. Smithwick applying the tag on the head-first dive, and Rivera's out number 3. How about the defense for Chatham in that inning? Keeping the Gatemen off the board as we go to the bottom of the third. A 2-0 Chatham lead persists at Veterans Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Edition of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're with an outfielder from Louisville, Michael Lippy. You ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, Michael, like a lot of players in this team, you've been around the block. You're from Wisconsin, highly ranked player, and then you were in the Northwoods. So what brought you to the Cape?
I think had a pretty good year in the woods, and my coaching staff just told me it's just the next step in the process of college baseball, so they decided to send me here. So, I mean, it's a blessing that I got sent here. It's a blessing I'm still here. So.
Gotcha. So what about the big difference between Midwest baseball and the East Coast? Is this your first time being akin to the East Coast, other than playing in the ACC?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first time in the East Coast. I would say, like, playing baseball here and in Wisconsin, it's pretty similar in a way. I mean, obviously the competition is way higher out here in the Cape and the woods and woods in Wisconsin and everything. It's much. The talent isn't as deep as it runs in the Cape.
All right, well, my final question now that we're a home plate, which is a familiar spot for you, your favorite memories playing baseball here in Wareham so far?
Favorite memories probably just like the bus rides and going on that winning streak that we had earlier in the season. I think that was like the lot of fun just to, it's baseball's a lot more fun when you're winning games and stuff, no matter like how you're doing personally or anything. So, I mean, it's just great team, great environment. So I'd say that winning streak and just all the bus rides have been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so,
seems like it. Well,
yeah.
Can't help but agree. Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
All right, that's Michael Lippy. I'm Kyle Marchak. We'll catch you guys for our next edition of the Wareham Walk-Off.
They also have the 2024
Bottom of 3 from Veterans Field at Chatham. 2-0 Anglers lead the Gatemen, who had a terrific opportunity to cross the scoreboard in the previous half inning. First and third, nobody out. We saw a line out to the second baseman. Sam White move up to second on a wild pitch, then a fly out to left field from Desero. Eris Rivera tried to tag and score, and he was thrown out at home by Jordan Williams. As the first pitch here, it misses outside. It's ball 1 to Ashton Larson from Brock Eddy. Kyle, your thoughts on sending Rivera?
Peculiar one. Rivera, our slowest runner, and that's not a distinct insult to him. He's a catcher.
1-0. Line up the middle base hit. Rolls into the glove of Lippy. Larson aboard on a leadoff knock.
Just not the opportunity there. It doesn't matter what type of runner you have on third. A ball hit that shallowly, you shouldn't challenge it. Let alone the fact that it was Rivera, it really leaves me scratching my head.
Medium deep left field is where that ball was hit. Perhaps, if that's Mike Mobbs who's running the sends down there at third base, as I imagine it is, maybe trying to induce a bad throw. I mean, when you're on a 4-game losing streak, you're going to try just about everything. As the first pitch, a breaking ball, called strike to Robin Villeneuve. Got to be careful here. Villeneuve homered to right center to begin the Anglers scoring the bottom of the first. They lead 2-0 here. Runner on first, nobody out in the last of the third. Pitch, just outside, 1-1.
People might scratch their heads as to the despair at which, the Gatemen may appear, or at least the way we talk about it, want a win. But a 4-game losing streak is historically bad for them this year. They have just won at an unprecedented rate this year up until this point.
A team that's made the postseason for the first time in 5 years. Breaking ball and a called strike 2. It's 1-2 on Villeneuve. Group that hadn't lost 3, let alone 4 in a row all season long up until this point. After dropping one at Bourne last night, really tough one to a team they hadn't lost to all season. They mustered only 3 hits in that loss. Righty on righty. Here's the 1-2 from Eddy. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Got him to chase. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Eddy.
And this is a team that's had, off the top of my head, 4 different moments throughout the year where they lost back-to-back games. And that's it. No, none of them were, 3-game skids or anything. They would lose one, maybe get unlucky and lose a second one, and after that they right the ship. And most of the time they go on a winning streak.
Wareham, about a week ago now, clinched a spot in the postseason. But now the battle for home field advantage begins. A check on the runner at first, and Larson's safe. 2-0 Chatham, 1 away in the bottom of the third. It's Campbell Smithwick at the plate now. Lefty at the dish against the righty on the hill. Eddy sets the belt. Unwinds and deals. Breaking ball just up high, ball 1. So home field advantage is now the battle. The Gatemen recently slipped out of that number 2 spot in the Cape League West Division, which means if the season ended today, they would be on the road for the 1-game playoff in the first round. 1-0. At the knees, a called strike 1. It's an even count on Campbell Smithwick, who's 0 for 1. He bounced out to third base his last time. He's got Larson at first base with 1 away. Rivera with the sign. As Eddy comes set. Right-hander deals. Is powered down the right side. This one heading for the corner, and a fair ball at 1 hops off the top of the wall. Over to third base goes Larson. He will not be sent. Breaks are held as Chapman throws it back to the infield. A 1-out double for Campbell Smithwick, his 4th of the season. And the Anglers set up well here in the third. Second and third, only 1 away.
Just got something on the inside edge, belt high. Once again, another mistake pitch.
After the home run Eddy allowed in the first inning, he gave up 3 hits in the second. 1 run scored on a Jordan Williams RBI, and now already 2 hits over the first 3 batters here in the third frame. And Jaden Davis, who doubled and scored in the second, is up at the dish. The infield drawn in, a step onto the grass, second and third, 1 out. And a 2-0 Anglers lead. They're looking for more early on. Another tough test for Brock Eddy. Let's see how he walks the tightrope. Righty on righty. He kicks and fires. Breaking ball in there for a called strike one. Eddy, just a freshman out of Arizona State. Only tossed 3 2/3 innings. He was playing over in the Valley League this summer. Joined up with the Gatemen just a couple of weeks ago as time called. Here comes Eric Luxus, the Gatemen pitching coach, making his first visit of the ball game, and it comes in the middle of the at-bat as well.
Well, the bullpen had to be tested a little bit yesterday, and that's after an off day, but before that, 7 arms out of the bullpen. And you've got 3 more games consecutively after this one, right? A 5-game stretch consecutively to close the regular season. I think they're just trying to get Eddy at least through this frame. And so that they've waited a minute to finally go out there and have a chat with him, considering the timeout rule as well.
This is a bullpen that's been taxed over its last couple of ball games. Granted, they had an off day Tuesday, but that loss to Hyannis on Monday at home, we saw Darren Horn only go an inning and a third. They used 7 different arms in that game. And it was a similar usage last night at Bourne after Tate McGuire had a rare rough start, only went 2 2/3 innings. So this bullpen has had to do the majority of the heavy lifting as of late.
And even in just this game, there are plenty of bullpen arms. They've added 3, over the past couple of weeks. All we really need is the starter to get through 3, and, anything beyond that is a bonus.
So Eric Luxus back to the dugout as this at-bat resumes. 0-1 to Jaden Davis, 2nd and 3rd, 1 away, 2-0 Chatham in the 3rd. Pitch. Swung on and shot foul right on top of the Anglers' third base dugout. So it's 0-2 on the Chatham second baseman, who's 1 for 1 with a double. A step onto the infield grass for all 4 infielders. Looking to cut down that potential runner at home. It's Ashton Larson at third, plenty of speed. Campbell Smithwick at second, both with big leads. The 0-2 slapped out to right center field. Going after it, Lippy. It falls in front of him, a base hit. Here comes Larson in to score. Smithwick up to third as the ball squirts away from Nate Early, and now scampering up to second is Davis. Smithwick holds his ground at third. The throw-in from Lippy went towards the pitcher's mound. Nate Early, the first baseman, came over to cut it off, and it snuck underneath his glove, and that allowed Davis to get the extra 90 feet. It should be an error on Early. And now, same situation. 2nd and 3rd, 1 away, now with a 3-0 Anglers lead.
Yeah, just another ball that he saw in that time pretty much down the middle. You got to give him a more challenging pitch on a count like that where you can put him away in 3 strikes real quick. Leaving a fastball down the middle. Just another mistake.
And that will be the end of the line for ASU's Brock Eddy as Eric Luxus is out there for his 2nd visit in as many batters. He will pull the plug on the right-handed freshman. He heads back to the dugout with his line not yet complete. Still responsible for the runners on 2nd and 3rd. I do believe this is Patrick Gallet coming in to pitch. We will confirm that on the other side of this break. 3-0 Anglers have the lead over the Gatemen with 1 away in the last of the 3rd on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Ethan Eibe here with another edition of Wareham Walk-Off, and today our guest is Davidson College's Eli Putnam, first baseman for the Gatemen. Eli, it's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get to walking. So first things first, Eli, let's look at off-the-field stuff. What's something that's brought you joy this week outside of baseball?
Joy this week outside of baseball? We had 2 off days this week. I got to spend some of the time out on the beach. Spent really my whole day. I guess it was Thursday. I spent in Sandwich, checking out some cool spots there, going to the gardens, getting some free time, relaxing. It's nice and chill.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, first year in the Cape, you were the Atlantic 10 home run champion this year. What has the transition to the Cape been like for you?
I mean, it's a step up in terms of competition from the A10 and our usual opponents, but I feel like it hasn't been too crazy. It's still 60 feet 6 inches, 90 feet between the bases. Still baseball at the end of the day.
Awesome stuff. Our last question for you, Eli, as we get ready to touch home. What's something that you want more people to know about Eli Putnam?
think a lot of people wouldn't know something about me is that I'm a really big chef. I love to cook when I'm at school. I cook for all my roommates. Just last night made a nice tomato mozzarella gnocchi. You know, that's one of my biggest passions outside of baseball.
What's your favorite thing you like to cook?
I love pizza, Neapolitan pizza.
Ooh, okay, maybe we'll have to chef that up sometime.
Maybe. I'd love to. Yep.
All right, this has been Wareham Walk-Off. Eli Putnam, as always, a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Pitching change for the Wareham Gatemen as we return to action in the bottom of the third inning. It's Ole Miss's Patrick Gallet, the right-hander, comes on to replace Brock Eddy. And his day comes to an end. He's still responsible for runners on second and third. That's the situation Gallet inherits with only one out, a 3-0 Anglers lead. Kyle on 7 hits. They knocked around Eddy pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, 3 extra base hits, the rest just hard hit singles. Not much else to say other than the fact that Eddy did not look like his best self today. I think he forced the fastball a little bit more. We could have seen the breaking ball a little bit more. It was working for him early, and I think there's only 1 hit off of his slider today.
Gallet, an ERA of 5.5. This is his 11th appearance. 9 earned runs allowed over 14 2/3. He's the reigning Cape League Pitcher of the Week. He faces Ty Johnson, batting from the left side, the center fielder for Chatham. Pitch. Misses down, ball 1. Infield drawn in here for the Gatemen. Everyone a step onto the infield grass. It's Campbell Smithwick at third, Jaden Davis at second. He had the RBI single that knocked out Eddy from the ballgame. 1 run scored in every inning so far for the Anglers. 1-0 delivery. Tucks inside, 2-0. Last time we saw Gallet was against YD. That was back on the 25th of July. Tossed 3 innings of relief, scoreless, with 5 strikeouts, only 3 hits allowed. (2-0) on the way. Is swung on and fouled away. Across that week as well, 4 shutout frames for Gallet to earn him that Pitcher of the Week honor. He inherits a tough situation here. Gatemen looking to keep the lid on this one. They weren't able to do that yesterday at Bourne, but they have a chance here. 2-1 coming. A chopper high towards second. Turner picks it up, only plays to first, and the throw barely in time. An emphatic punch out by the first base umpire, Mike Rabideau. Barely getting Ty Johnson there. A run does come in to score. Smithwick in to make it 4-0. That high chopper left Turner with no choice but to go to first.
Yeah, and of course it was a chopper that just popped up into the air and hung out there, had a cup of tea for a while, and then came back down to make the play hard too.
Yeah, it did. Took Turner a while to get to it, just waiting for that one to come down. And with a speedy guy like Johnson. So it's still Jaden Davis on second base. Now with 2 outs for Kyle Lodis, the Chatham shortstop's 0 for 1. First pitch. Fastball just off the plate for ball 1. That run charged to Eddy. He's still responsible for Davis at second base. So the line not yet complete for the ASU right-hander. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Anglers. The 1-0. Check swing, doesn't matter, it's a called strike, evens the count.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So no, so this is there.
Gallet comes set, he looks at second and deals the 1-1. At the knees, but just down low. 2-1 to Lodis. 237 hitter on the year, he's one of those original Anglers. Guy has stuck around all summer long here. Veterans Field, not a bad place to come to work every day. 2-1. Just down for ball 3. Do have first base open if they choose to walk him with Jordan Williams on deck. Expansive lead off of second base for Davis. Hot in the area, 3-1. Outside ball 4. First walk given up today by either team. Lodis on his way to first base.
Now batting the left fielder.
And that should come as no surprise. Lodis third in the entire Cape League in walks with now his 26th.
Yeah, I mean, his on-base percentage is through the roof, and so is the entirety of the Chatham offense. They just get on base.
That brings up Jordan Williams. His Cape League debut, the outfielder out of the University of Tampa, slapped a single to bring home a run in his first at-bat last inning. 4-0 Chatham. The pitch, chopper towards first. Early has it on the bounce. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 3, and Patrick Gallet works through the jam here in the bottom of the third. 2 more runs come in to score, both charged to Brock Eddy as we go to the top of the fourth. Gatemen with work to do here at Veterans Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
I couldn't get out, so they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence. They had to pull the fence.
And an incredible guest for us today on the pod, in the words of the great Jason Stark, writer, broadcaster, and distinguished former major leaguer, Doug Glanville. Doug, it is terrific to have you on today.
So, any favorite ballparks that you visited while you were in the Cape?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you got to love Spillane Field with like the all dirt infield or whatever you had going there, the darkened dirt. Let me see. Well, Bourne, I didn't like Bourne because one time I slid for a ball. I was doing that cool move where the ball's up against the fence and you slide around it and then pop up and throw. And then I slid and went through the fence. So my leg got caught in the fence and I couldn't do it. I had to roll the ball to the right fielder and I couldn't get out. So they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence and to pull the fence.
Oh my God.
So that wasn't a good memory. So Bourne, the fog always rolled in there.
Veterans Field, the home of the Chatham Anglers, playing host to the Wareham Gatemen on this Thursday night. And the Gatemen find themselves down 4-0 entering the top half of the fourth inning. 2, 3, and 4 due up to bat. Michael Lippy, Reese Chapman, and Eli Putnam. They had their chance in the third, had a couple of runners on, but a crucial double play turned on a flyout to left field by Johan Desero. They threw out the base runner Aris Rivera, coming home from third base. He was cut down by a throw from Jordan Williams. As Michael Lippy watches strike one from Lucas Hartman, the right-hander out of Western Kentucky has been dynamite. Shut out the Gatemen over the first 2 frames and got into that little bit of trouble in the third, but he's been steady. Breaking ball, catches the inner half. It's 0-2 on Lippy. So the Gatemen find themselves down by 4. This is the time to make something happen. Right-hander deals. Lippy a roller towards short. Couple of hops for low. Deese steps and throws to first in time. Lippy losing the shin guard on the way to first base as well. Quick out number 1.
He was moving. You got to respect the hustle, and small things like that can help this team right now.
We've seen some long innings on defense for the Gatemen today. No doubt that would carry over to the bats as well.
Yeah, I think these guys a little tired right now after a couple of long innings. Just a lot of balls put in play, really.
So here's Reese Chapman, right fielder out of Tennessee, who's 0 for 1. He lined out to center field back in the first.
That is why I've heard of it.
Batting from the left side against the righty, first pitch. In there, strike 1 called. Meanwhile, for Chatham, they've seen consistent offense throughout this ballgame. 7 hits. Long look in for the strike on this one as Hartman deals. Swing and a miss right over the top of the breaking ball. 0-2 on Chapman. It all started with a solo shot in the first inning by Robin Villeneuve out of Texas Tech. An RBI single in the second from Jordan Williams. And a couple more runs plated in that third inning. Jaden Davis with an RBI, as well as Ty Johnson as this pitch fouled away. It hits off the netting and still 0-2 on Chapman.
And just long ABs is going to help right now. Chapman, couple of foul balls in this one, just waiting for his pitch. Whatever you can do to just lengthen in that bat.
0-2 again. Chapman fouls one off his foot, so he stays alive. Final line for Brock Eddy out of Arizona State. 2 1/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, or 4 strikeouts, I should say. Don't want to slander my guy. Did have some punch-outs today in his short outing. He threw 52 pitches and 37 of them for strikes. Now it's Patrick Gallet's ball game. It's the Gatemen bullpen taking it from here. 0-2 to Chapman. His flip foul down the left side. That'll sail into the adjacent neighborhood. There are a couple of houses that line that left field foul territory here at Veterans Field, and it's interesting. One of those backyards has a nice little chair set up, a trio of chairs on a raised platform where you can actually watch the ball game. No doubt that raises the value of the home on Zillow, huh?
Oh, yeah.
0-2 and just outside of Chapman.
As if houses around here wouldn't be expensive enough.
You kidding me? On a minor league broadcaster's salary, I'll have to work 150 baseball seasons.
Yep.
1-2, swing and a miss. Curveball got Chapman to chase, and he's out number 2.
Third baseman, number 11.
Well, he still put a lot of pitches on that at-bat. But Hartman otherwise has been so efficient today. He's only got 45 pitches to his credit.
Not a guy who's going to kill you with the stuff. It's been the location that's been working for him. Every pitch that he has in his arsenal. Fastball, slider, curveball, and the change have all been pinpoint tonight. As Eli Putnam stands in 0-for-1 with a punch-out. 4-0 Anglers here. 2 gone in the top of the 4th. First pitch. Way up high, ball 1 to Putnam. So you and I could simply post up if we go knocked on that guy's door if those seats were unoccupied, and we could feasibly take in an Anglers game.
Oh, we should have broadcasted up there today.
We definitely should have arranged that. The pitch fouled off down the right side. It's 1-1 on Putnam. Add it to the list of interesting places to broadcast, huh?
It's just like the concept of Wrigley. You know,
true.
Outfield seats are low enough, and you have a roof across the street with a good view. Put seats up there.
That's right. Righty on righty, the 1-1. Putnam lifts it, foul down the right side.
I saw a sign behind it on the house that said Home Plate Club.
Did it actually?
Yeah.
Well, granted, there is a rather giant light pole that does partially block the view of those seats, but granted, it's still probably one of the more interesting viewpoints in all of baseball, amateur or professional. 1-2. Hits Putnam. A fastball up and in. Putnam stood his ground, made no effort to get out of the way. I think that one was maybe off the forearm, the elbow.
Yeah, looked somewhere on his left arm, but he's a big kid, so probably felt like nothing to him.
So Putnam finds his way down to first base. And with 2 outs in the top of the 4th, it'll be up to Nate Early of Louisville to keep things going here. Gatemen down 4-0. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Anglers. Just 2 hits today for the Gatemen. Both were in that 3rd inning. They left the runners stranded. Putnam a couple of steps off of first base. Robin Villeneuve holding him on. First pitch. Early sends it in the air, out towards medium deep left field. Tracking it, Jordan Williams. And this one brought in by Kyle Lodis, tracking it out to shallow left. The shortstop hauls it in for out number 3. So Putnam left stranded after the 2-out hit by a pitch, and we're on our way to the last of the 4th. 4-0 Chatham on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Ethan Eibe here with another edition of Wareham Walk-Off, and today it's right-handed pitcher Cole Lehman out of Lehigh University. Cole, It's great to have you. Let's get going.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you even find your way to Wareham?
There was an old player at Lehigh a couple years ago, Mason Black. He played for Brewster. I think Coach Smythe was an assistant there, so there might have been some type of connection there. Other than that, it's always a goal of mine to be up here, and my coach at Lehigh made it happen, so I'm very, very excited to be here.
Things that you are working on this summer?
Yeah, I think I found success in it in one of my starts, just kind of throwing the fastball in. That was a huge thing. Coach Luxus said that to us day one. Fastball in and change-ups to righties, so we've been trying to work on those things and, just keep my stuff working.
There you go. So, over at Lehigh, you are an economics major with a Spanish minor. Now, I'd love to know why the choice in both the major and the minor?
Well, I had a great economics teacher in high school, Mr. Wagner, and then Spanish minor, I just did some traveling as a kid. My family, we went to Cuba. I played in Puerto Rico for a week.
How are you enjoying the Cape League experience so far?
Oh, it's great. I love all the guys, love the coaches, love my host family. Tate, I live with Tate, love Tate.
That you think more people should know about Cole Lane?
Well, I have a special talent of finding four-leaf clovers.
Really?
So that's something. But try to be energetic, try to bring good energy every day. You know, at school, something I'm big on is trying to help the younger guys, you know, do the best they can and grow into the best pitchers they can be. So it's a big part of my game and who I am. So, yeah.
Cole Lane, always looking to pass it along. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
The Anglers back up to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. A 4-0 lead for the Anglers against the Wareham Gatemen as a Thursday early evening dips to dusk. Back on the hill, Patrick Galley of Ole Miss. He'll face bottom of this Anglers order, Daniel Jackson. Then back to the top for Chayton Krause and Ashton Larson. A short start for Brock Eddy of Arizona State. Galley, the first reliever out of the pen. It'll be the bullpen who takes it from here. Only 2 hits today mustered for Gatemen batters and 7 for Chatham. The first pitch to Daniel Jackson is outside, ball 1. And, oh man, Kyle, there are dogs around here.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
We have Madison Walker immediately to my right. Madison, would you go investigate, please? All right, she's on it. The 1-0. This one misses out. 2-0 now on Jackson, who's 0 for 1. Bounced out to second his first time up. 1 run in the first and second frames. 2 more added on in the third for Chatham. As Madison makes her way over to what I think is a giant golden retriever. Could be something mixed, though. I don't quite know. As this pitch at the knees, 2-1.
He's huge.
It is a big boy. We always love our dogs on here on the broadcast, so we'll get you all that relevant information as soon as we can. That is our duty, of course. The 2-1. Broken bat roller to first. Early gobbles it up. Underhand toss to Galley covering for the out. Nice 3-1 put out there. 1 away in the last of the fourth.
Top of the order for the Anglers.
And Madison Walker has returned. So we'll have the Doggo of the Day report brought to you by Madison Walker, as well as her expert sideline analysis when we get to her in the break of this half inning. So if that gives you a reason to stick around to this broadcast, I really hope it does. Base is empty, 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Back to the top for Chayton Krause. At the knees, a called strike 1 from Galley.
Man, what we would do for Galley to not just finish this inning, but go as long as he can.
Now Galley hopefully going to rack up a couple of innings out of the pen today as this one misses down 1-1. Looking for some long relief. We last saw that from Hudson Rowan in his first relief appearance on Monday. Left-hander out of Florida State gave the Gatemen over 3 innings out of the pen. Not bad for a freshman. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt again. Ball 2. Krause is 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. 4 separate Chatham hitters recording RBI. Robin Villeneuve, Jaden Davis, Ty Johnson, and Jordan Williams. It's been an all-around performance from Chatham thus far. Those 4 runs on 7 hits as they look to go above the 500 mark here in the latter stages of the regular season. Both these teams have already clinched playoff spots. Galley's 2-1. Watched and a called strike 2. Fastball up in the zone evens the count. All that remains to be seen is the seeding in both divisions. We'll recap those standings for you after this next pitch. Galley winds and deals the 2-2. And it's down, ball 3, a full count to Krause. Whitey's clinched the East Division. They will be the 1 seed. Chatham's in second. Meanwhile, a battle for third and fourth with a playoff spot on the line between Harwich, Orleans, and Brewster, currently in that order. Only separated by a couple of games each. The payoff. Way outside, ball 4. It goes to the backstop.
Happy birthday to Michael Strauss.
So up to first goes Krause on the 1-out walk. Second walk of the game for Gatemen pitching. In the West, though, it's far more competitive. Katuitt right now at the top just by a half game over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They've got 1 less loss than the Hawks. So Katuitt with more games to make up due to rainouts. And Wareham finds themselves in third, a couple of games ahead of the Bourne Braves, with Falmouth trailing. So they're in danger of missing the playoffs. Wareham, of course, has been the surprise of the West all year. Nobody wrote anything about this team heading into the season, and barring this 4-game skid they've been on in this second half as a whole, they have shattered expectations. This one fisted in the hole left center, and that is going to find its way into shallow left field. An infield single here for Ashton Larson, who just sliced that one in the 5-6 hole. Byram Hott tried to backhand it. He was unable to, and it's an infield hit. Now runners on first and second with one out.
I think that ball just spun so much it cued away from Byram.
We have seen that many times today already through just the first half of this game. A lot of baseballs with a whole lot of English on it. Tough play for Hott. So first and second for Robin Villeneuve. Righty on righty as Villeneuve stands in. Gallet deals, and it's down ball 1. So Gallet with a jam to work with here after he recorded the first out of the inning on Daniel Jackson's ground out. A walk and now a base hit. It's 4-0 Anglers here. One out in the last of the 4th. Not much of a lead for both base runners. Pitch, foul tipped into the glove of Rivera, 1-1. Chatham, not a team that's going to steal a ton of bases. They're middle of the pack in that regard. 6th in the league with 51 swipes this year. But Villeneuve, a guy who's got some pop. He slugged his second home run of the season off of Eddie in the first. Here's the 1-1, and fouled straight back into the screen. Gallet now ahead in the count. It'll be very interesting to see how those East teams finish out. And Harwich had, at one point, one win in 15 ball games that dropped them from second all the way to dead last. As this pitch misses inside, it's now 2-2. And recently, they've gone on a 4-game winning streak, so now they're right back up there at third.
Talk about a roller coaster.
Yeah, right. Poor Carson Trail. Guy's been through a whole lot. Our Harwich broadcasting buddy. First and second, one away. The 2-2 pitch coming to Villeneuve is in the dirt. Rivera with an excellent block. And a full count now on the Anglers' first baseman.
What a crazy division the East is. 3 of the 4 teams in the entire league that are below 500 are in the East.
And definitely the West Division, the higher-powered group this season. It's so much parity in the Cape League. You never know what you're going to get year to year. 3-2 pitch. Off the plate outside, ball 4. Villeneuve draws the walk. Third walk given up by Gallet. It loads the bags for Campbell Smithwick.
The catcher from Ole Miss, number 12, Campbell Smithwick.
Not a good situation here for Gallet as he looks to work through this jam. The Gatemen, it seems, can't buy a 1-2-3 inning to save their life. Over these last couple of ball games, those have been hard to come by. Anglers at every base as Smithwick steps in. He's 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the third. Gallet winds and deals. Smithwick a chopper over the mound, up the middle, picked up by Turner, steps on second, throw to first, double play. Do it yourself, Kobe Turner, and get out of the jam. How about that for Patrick Gallet, rolling it and sending this ball game to the top of the 5th inning. It's still 4-0 Chatham here. And now with our Doggo of the Day report and overall sideline analysis, here is Madison Walker.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Yeah, I went to go meet that dog. His name is Doke, golden retriever. I was like, he doesn't really look like a golden because he's so big. But they said he's just chunky boy. And he was so tired today because he went swimming earlier. Because I was like, I've never met a golden so chill before. They said he's a big swimmer. So he's working off his calories, getting a little diet in. But a little game analysis for you guys. Honestly, I feel like I'm getting deja vu from yesterday. We saw the home run in the first inning. We're 2 hits so far only. Most of the game yesterday, we only had 2 hits. It looks so similar to yesterday. And I think that if we can start learning from these mistakes, we'll really get back on the track that we want to go on, because nobody wants to be on a couple game losing streak, you know. So I think that we'll be able to figure it out. I know Coach Ryan Smythe definitely has a plan. There's reasons he takes people out, puts people in, you know, he gives people a rest. And I think that things like that really can make or break a game. So if he gives these guys rest, we've already clinched playoffs, we'll be able to win and kind of pull it together when it counts, you know. So me and Doak, we're rooting for the Gatemen. We think that we can get a few more hits and figure it out. But as of now, I'm going to throw it back to you, Ethan.
Thank you so much, Madison. We're going to need that doggo magic indeed as we go to the top of the fifth inning. A 4-0 lead for the Chatham Anglers. Gatemen only with 2 hits mustered today to Chatham's 8. As Lucas Hartman goes back on the mound, we welcome a very special guest to the Gatemen broadcast for the first time all season long. Here is Keegan Maloney, one of our excellent photography interns. Keegan, welcome to the broadcast, my friend.
Ethan, what's going on, my friend? How are we doing? It's fantastic to be here.
Absolutely, my guy. It is terrific to have you. You're a Coastal Carolina product, and you have been producing some fantastic content all season long for the Gatemen. If you have seen anything on the Gatemen social media, you have absolutely seen some of Keegan's photography work as Byram Hott stands in to begin this top half of the fifth. Lucas Hartman taking a long look in for the sign. It's almost at a standstill here. And now we're ready to go. First pitch to Hott is outside, ball 1. So, Keegan, what has the Cape League experience been like for you this summer?
The Cape has honestly been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, coming into this summer, I was kind of nervous about, did I want to stay in Virginia where I'm from? And
Hott, a high drive out to right center field on the second pitch he sees, and it's hauled in right center by Ashton Larson for out number 1.
You know, I was just kind of up in the air about if I wanted to come to the Cape, and as soon as I got here, I realized that I made the perfect decision, you know. All the interns around here are amazing. This team is, obviously, you know exactly what they do. These guys win. It's been an amazing summer so far.
It's been an all-star team, not just on the field, but off the field as well. I mean, a terrific intern group brought in this season. If I may say so, just wanted to put that out there.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you.
As Aris Rivera stands in, first pitch, outside ball 1. Bases clear, 1 away. Top of the fifth inning, a 4-0 Chatham lead. What's been the most important part of this experience for you, Keegan?
I think the most fun of this entire summer so far has just been exploring the Cape. You know, before coming up here, I've never vacationed up here, obviously never lived up here for a prolonged amount of time. So be able to explore the beaches, try the food, meet the people up here, it's been an unbelievable experience. Like, you can't beat it.
2-0 pitch misses in. 3-0 on Aris Rivera. What's been your favorite road trip town to go to?
You know, it's not a team that we've played, but we've gone to the Beachcomber. I got to give the Beachcomber a huge shout out. Phenomenal beach, 10 out of 10.
Ooh, we'd have to go sometime.
Absolutely. I'd love to join you sometime.
This pitch in there, 3-1 to Rivera. I understand that this, however, is your last ball game today. Is that so?
It is. It's bittersweet. Tomorrow morning I'm going to drive back to Virginia, so this is my last game for the season. Definitely sad about that.
I am just devastated by this news. I didn't know that was happening until we were on our way to Chatham today, as it's now 3-2 on Aris Rivera. You will be missed. Your work will be missed. At least we still have your buddy Jake.
Absolutely, absolutely. You still have a loaded team, and you're not missing much, trust me.
Payoff pitch in the dirt, ball 4. There's a base runner for the Gatemen. As Rivera trots down to first base, 1 out walk, and a 4-0 Anglers lead here in the top of the fifth inning. So you are classmates and colleagues with Jake Bashura, our head videographer for the Gatemen. How did it work? Who got the job first, and who recommended who?
So I originally got the job. I locked it down. As I'm talking with Andrew Duffy, shout out Andrew Duffy for bringing us on, he mentions that he needs a videographer. So, you know, huge light bulb goes off in my head. I know a guy.
Yes,
and then
you do.
I shot Jake a text. Jake's here within, I'd say, 3 days. He's on the team.
Wow. Terrific stuff there. It's been the Coastal Carolina duo all summer long that's been providing some of the best content you'll see by any social media team in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and I can say that with utmost certainty, as the first pitch here is fouled back off the bat of Sam White. 0-1 to Sam with a runner at first and 1 away. 4-0 Chatham in the top of the fifth inning. Is there a single photograph that you've taken this summer that has stood out to you, or maybe a handful that you can remember off the top of your head?
While we're here in Chatham, there was actually a shot I got of Brennan Summerhill. He sawed off a pitch, and his bat shattered into 10-plus pieces all over the place.
Called strike, 1-1 to White.
That's by far the best picture I've taken, just because it's a dumb luck shot. You never get that shot.
Yeah, that's terrific stuff right there, and you get to capture a moment like that. It's actually 0-2. Here it is. A swing and a miss. White down on strikes for out number 2.
Now batting.
And with Aris Rivera at first, it'll be up to Colby Turner to keep things going. So are shots like that your favorite, or what about shots that have captured some interesting emotion this summer?
I got to be honest with you. This has been a pretty quiet team as far as showing emotions in the game, but I think that these guys show the most emotion outside of what you see on the field. You know, before the game or after the game or in the dugout when you can't see these guys, they're always putting on a scene, putting on a funny face, something like that. I mean, this whole team's filled with emotion that you don't necessarily see all the time. You don't see the guys screaming on the mound or pimping huge home runs, but it's just been a great team. The vibes are amazing. You can't beat it.
1 ball and 1 strike to Colby Turner. Runner at first with 2 away. Gatemen looking to keep this half inning going, getting anything going in this 5th frame. Lucas Hartman has been steady. He deals. And a foul tip off the bat of Turner. 1-2. So what do you do at Coastal Carolina? What's been your role there?
So I work for the baseball team.
Okay.
I'm the director of creative media.
Oh, my.
So pretty much same situation as you see here. Anything you see on social media, on the website, anything of that sort is usually coming from my camera. But it's also, backed by, I have a huge group of guys who are always helping me out with photo, video, no matter what it is.
Turner, a high drive out to right field. This chases Ashton Larson back, and the catch made there for out number 3. That brings a close to the top half of the 5th inning. Aris Rivera's a 1-out walk left stranded. We're on our way to the last of the 5th. It's still 4-0 Chatham. We're going to leave you with Keegan Maloney, and Kyle Marchak will take you the rest of the way home on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. PC is a Massachusetts-based leading-edge real estate closing, title, settlement, and personal injury and litigation law firm. Our clients trust us to provide the most comprehensive real estate closing and litigation services in Massachusetts. Our full network of closing and settlement attorneys, agencies, and litigators have expanded throughout New England and beyond. We deliver on that trust and reliance by offering the best professional prompt assistance, advanced technology, and state-of-the-art closing services in the real estate law and litigation business today. Our commitment to excellence, honest reputation, and tradition of aggressive representation to provide quality legal services is what we will continue to demonstrate at Sync Law. We believe and will prove that successfully addressing client needs requires more than just knowledge of the law. It requires a mastery of good representation and an attitude to finalize every transaction to my client's satisfaction. Live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law.
Back on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. It's 4-0 Bad Guys as the Anglers lead the Gatemen in Wareham's final visit to the beautiful Veterans Field here in Chatham, Massachusetts. Jacob Faulkner, the right-handed submariner and all-star for the Gatemen, to take over on the mound as the second one out of the bullpen today. But let's forget about baseball for a moment and continue this conversation with Keegan Maloney. Man, it's your last day. Why are you leaving us?
All right, so it's actually a long story. So I was originally supposed to go to a concert tomorrow in North Carolina. Zach Bryan.
Okay.
Big concert, okay? I was going to fly down the day of, go to the concert, fly out the next morning. It was going to all work out. My dad schedules a week-long vacation in Miami.
Wow.
The next week. So...
Well, you got to go to Miami.
Unfortunately, you're correct.
Oh, I got to go down to Miami.
What a
Darn
shame.
it.
What a shame.
Well, we've had a fun time with you, Keegan. I mean, what a crew that Andrew Duffy has recruited this year, and you've been a focal point of it.
No, absolutely. It's you know just as much as me. It's been an unbelievable time. We've had some great memories out here. What
a fun summer it's been. Well, it would be more fun if the Gatemen could find a little bit of a role in the ball field right now. They're riding a 4-game losing streak, and they're down 4-0 to Chatham. Faulkner, first inning of relief, and he's got Jaden Davis, the Vanderbilt product, at the dish. He's 2 for 2. How much fun it's been watching Faulkner throw, too. First pitch from the subby, and that one fouled away, strike 1. So what does the rest of this summer look like for you following this vacation?
So this summer's going to be a whirlwind for me. So my first day of school is August 20th. I head back to school August 17th.
Whoa.
So quick. I'm in Miami until the 9th of August. Head to the beach with my friends for a week, and then I'm right back to school.
0-1 is swung on and flipped foul behind home plate, a fastball high, 0-2.
It's a nonstop summer, that's for sure, but you can't beat it. I mean, just doing nonstop fun is amazing. You can't ask for much more than that.
And what were your expectations coming into this summer?
I really don't know what my expectations were. You know, like I said, I've never even visited up here. I don't know anything about Cape Cod. If I'm being honest, I thought the Cape Cod was this small little piece of land that took 10 minutes to drive across. So
0-2, a slider front door, but it misses for ball 1, and I agree with you. So I'm from New York. You're from Central Virginia, right?
Correct.
So neither you or I had any idea what the Cape really looked like. We've only heard all these cliches about what a beautiful beach-ridden place this area is.
That's exactly right.
Faulkner sets on the first base side of the rubber. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Davis. It's just outside, 2-2 count. Man, this summer, the expectations were, at a high bar, but wow, it has been so fun. What a team Andrew Duffy's recruited, and you as one of the photography interns, you guys have really knocked it out of the park. I mean, that's a lot of late hours you guys are putting in.
No, absolutely. You're very familiar with it. You've seen the hours behind the scenes. It's
2-2, swinging a liner. It's just over the head of the first baseman early and into right field, rounding first and stopping there with his 3rd hit of the day. A leadoff knock for Davis, as you were saying.
I can promise you we don't do the most work out of anyone on this team, but it is a lot of hours. After the game, you get home and you have to edit 3,000 pictures or whatever it is before the next game, and that's 6 days a week, 5 days a week. It's been awesome, though. I mean, taking pictures of these guys, it's phenomenal athletes, best competition in the country. You can't beat it.
It's a grind for sure, but there's always Dan Roach, and man, that kid grinds. Here's Ty Johnson, 1 for 2 here. First pitch is outside to the left-handed bat out of Baylor.
That's for sure, though. Shout out Dan Roach. Huge shout out Dan Roach.
He is a grinder. That kid is up late, assistant GM. And, man, he puts in some hours, especially just with the laundry alone for this team, which likes to get dirty. 1-0 with a runner on first, bottom 5, 4-0 Chatham, and that pitch is just outside, 2-0 count.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So what's been your favorite moment with the intern group this summer?
Oh, wow. That is a good question. I think I do have a specific memory, and it really takes me down memory lane. 2 balls and no strikes. Faulkner leans in for the sign, now sets as he bends at the waist and delivers. Swinging a line drive just past Faulkner to the shortstop hot. Flip to second in time. Turner on to first. It's a double play. Yeah, he did. Bases are emptied on a pitcher's best friend. There's 2 away as Kyle Lodise will step up to the dish. Down 4-0 are the Gatemen here, bottom 5. My favorite memory this summer with the interns. Well, 5 of you guys live in the same house, and I believe it was our first off day of the summer. We decided after the game to celebrate a Gateman win by all having a get-together at the household afterward. And we stayed up talking about baseball and movies until the sun rose again. And then we got the drone out and took a drone shot of all of us on the beach. It was as romantic a moment you could ask for a bunch of people who knew nothing about each other at the beginning of the summer. First pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. That was a fun night.
Absolutely. That was the biggest icebreaker you could have given us,
Easily. 1 ball and no strikes, and that pitch buzzes the tower on Ty Johnson. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes with 2 away, bases empty. That was, the closest I'd ever been to people I knew nothing about. I didn't even know your last name at that point. I was like, Keegan. Keegan the buff photographer.
I'll take it, though.
2-0 pitch, and he haphazardly swings at that slider outside for strike 1. You understand that you're probably the buffest photographer in this league?
No. I've seen just huge guys out here, Some gorillas walking around with the camera.
I strongly disagree. 2-1 pitch on the way. Swinging a fly ball sky high out to left field. Camping under it is White. He loses the hat, but gets the ball for out number 3. Keegan, I got to say, unless Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a photographer in this league, I think you're the biggest one. So with that, I thank you for all your help this summer. It has been really fun getting to know you, and I hope that I end up in your area soon. I forgot to tell you, my parents live south of Wilmington, so I'm kind of close to coastal Carolina.
No, absolutely. We will see each other soon. This can't be the last time.
Yes, sir. Sure. It can't be the last time. Keegan, I really appreciate you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. All right, that's Keegan Maloney, guys. So make sure to check out his stuff on social media. Here, plug it for yourself real quick.
kmmedia.official on Instagram.
Love it. All right, make sure to check his stuff out. So thank you very much, Keegan. We head to the top of the 6th at Veterans Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. For a good piece of glass, call Abby. Located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham, call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs. Mastria Auto Group. Whether you need sales, parts, or service, call Mastria Auto Group for all your Kia, Cadillac, Mazda, VW, Subaru, and Nissan needs. Mastria delivers. www.mastria.com.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding area since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Looking to buy or sell real estate in the South Shore, South Coast, or Cape Cod area? Joanne Stevenson has been selling Massachusetts since 2000. Specializing in residential real estate, she is a part of the #1 Berkshire Hathaway Robert Paul team. Whether you are looking for your first home, vacation home, or relocating, call Joanne Stevenson, your local Wareham agent, for all your real estate needs. A proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen.
Top 6 from Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. 9 hits and 4 runs for the Anglers as they lead it in the final meeting between Chatham and the Wareham Gatemen in 2024. Man, lopsided game so far, but finally the Anglers do go into the bullpen. So 5 innings scoreless, just 2 hits allowed, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts for Lucas Hartman, his final line today. They have Devin Presley to take over, tall righty from Gardner-Webb University. But with that, we also welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Ethan Eibe, back into the booth. Ethan, what were you up to for a half inning?
Oh, nothing much. I was just kind of walking around, taking in the vibes here at Veterans Field. I mean, it is just a beautiful night for baseball, and a crowd well over 1,000 strong. So really, really terrific to just walk around, take in everything that Chatham and this ballpark has to offer today, and just enjoy what is our last trip out here this season.
You're going to make me tear up. You know, first we send off Keegan Maloney, and now you and I are going to talk and reminisce about what a romantic ballpark it is, our final visit to Veterans Field. You know what really stings is that you only, well, for the most part, at least in our situations, you only get one summer in the Cape, and man, I'm just trying to soak it up down this home stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody's just about doing that right now, and even the players as well. A lot of these guys, this will be their one shot to play in what they call the last best league.
Johan Desero hasn't been the best today, but man, he's been red hot in the second half. 370 average in the second half. It's really heated up, but pair of flyouts today, and that's kind of just been the story for the Gatemen.
Yeah, they've had their opportunities, though. They've left 3 runners on today, but just haven't had anything consistent flow through.
Only 2 hits for the Gatemen, and they were in back-to-back swings. Eris Rivera had a single, and then Sam White followed. Neither scored. Gatemen down 4-0. Top 6, and Devin Presley to take over. He kicks and deals, and it's a swing and a fly ball foul down the left field line for strike 1. Desero has finally appeared on the leaderboards among all qualified hitters in the Cape. It's finally met or caught up with that game count. 0-1 pitch is outside. For a while, we just get to write about him in ambiguity, say, hey, he's hitting really well. But now he's got nearly 30 games under his belt. He really only just missed a week of action.
Yeah, it's been really steady at the top of the order ever since Brendan Summerhill left the picture.
1-1 pitch, righty on lefty to start off the 6th. Swing and a high bounder to the right side at 3 hops to the chest of Jaden Davis. He collects, throws in time, 1 down. So Desero, although he's 0 for 3 today, now the 5th-ranked hitter by average on the Cape.
Besides that, top 5 in OPS now, slugging percentage as well. Good to see a guy like him get recognized, but those personal accolades go out the window when you're losing 4 in a row. That's the way that these guys would all think about it.
Presley, first inning of work here. He kicks and fires, and that bounces into the dirt. Michael Lippy at the dish, also 0 for 2. Presley, an 8.1 ERA in 3 1/3 innings, just picked up. Made his debut back on the 11th. Waited a while for another relief opportunity. That was on the 20th. And here he is on August 1st, making his 3rd appearance for Chatham. Weird that they've made him wait that long in between appearances, though. "1-0 is cut on and missed, a slider outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lippy struck out in the first, grounded out to short in the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, bases empty. Away half of the 6th at Chatham. And the pitch. Slider, frisbee's in there at the belt, strike 2. Presley from the windup gets the sign he likes after shaking off one from catcher Campbell Smithwick. He coils and lets one fly. It's a fastball at the bill of the helmet, so high for ball 2. And the sun is finally gone to rest here on the very tip of the Cape. Well, not quite, but at least from our angle. Swing and a miss on a slider outside, a strikeout, and there's 2 away.
Tough at bat there for Lippy. Just not seeing enough production from the top of the order today. Granted, they've left Murph Gray and Antonio Jimenez on the bench, so you never know. You might see those guys pinch hit later, but for being honest, they needed the off days. They've been playing throughout this second half with very little rest, so I think as you gear up for the playoffs, a day off is probably a good idea.
Top half of the order so far is a combined 0 for 11. Chapman batting 3rd today. He's 0 for 3. Lined out to center field and struck out. Righty on lefty first pitch. And the Tennessee Volunteer watches a fastball outside. 1-0 count with 2 away. Gatemen looking to claw back into this one, down 4-0. Riding a 4-game losing streak, longest of the season. 1-0 deal and an off-speed plate high, but outside. 2-0 count. And in the past 5 games, so including their most recent win, the Gatemen, as a squad, have the league's worst ERA and worst batting average over this stretch. So inexplicably just playing bad baseball over the past 5 games. 2-0 on the way. Swing and a pop-up behind home plate. That'll reach the seats. 2-1.
And after the game yesterday, Ryan Smythe saying, there is no message for this team. Verbatim, this team knows how to win. This team knows why they're losing. There's nothing that he needs to say that is going to make this any better. They know how to get themselves out of it. They just have to find the metal to get it done.
2-1 on the way. And lined foul. You and I talked about it yesterday, that Chapman could have been a deliverance of that championship medal after a College World Series with Tennessee. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top 6, 4-0 bad guys lead it in Chatham. Presley comes set at the belt and fires. Swing and a miss over the slider. He got him. 2 strikeouts to finish the side. No one reaches base. And the Gatemen are down in order as we head to the home half of the 6th on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off in 2024. And our first guest, as we get to know you, is Tony Pluta, right-handed pitcher out of Arizona. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Tony. Well, you're from Chicago, so what brought you out west to Arizona?
So my recruiting coordinator at Arizona knew my high school coach really well and knows that whole area very well. So it's just kind of how I got connected with them.
Gotcha. So they reached out to you in high school. You told me you topped out at 95 in high school, so pretty easy to get noticed?
Yeah, that definitely helps. But, going to all the tournaments and all that kind of thing helps.
Okay, well, on top of that, you've developed some accolades in your short career in college baseball so far. You were in the Northwoods last year, and then college ball treated you well in 2024. Your spring was pretty fun. How about that Pac-12 championship? What was that like?
It was amazing, especially being the last Pac-12 championship. It was an awesome feeling to win the last Pac-12 game ever.
Yeah, and then Brendan Summerhill, your Gateman teammate, hit the walk-off. So is it cool to share that moment with your Summer teammate as well?
Oh yeah, it's great. Every moment with Summer is something special, so it's great to have a teammate like that.
Speaking of Summer, you've been to a lot of different baseball destinations. This is kind of your first one for an extended period of time out east. Where does Wareham rank all time?
It's pretty great. I mean, the Northwoods was definitely its own thing, but I love Wareham. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. We made it to home plate, so my final question for you, what's the goal this summer?
Just pitch well, throw strikes, and get guys out.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bottom 6 at Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. On the Gateman Baseball Network, I'm Kyle Marchak with Ethan Eibe. 4-0 Chatham. Gateman just being blanked so far.
Yeah, between Lucas Hartman and now Devin Presley, this lineup just hasn't been able to string together the hits that they've needed. It's an unfortunate continuation of the trend we've seen over the last couple of ball games, an offense that just looks lost at the plate.
So Jacob Faulkner, after a scoreless 5th inning, takes over for his 2nd inning of relief here. Faced the minimum after a single, a double play, and a flyout. He has 8-9-1 due up. First pitch to Jordan Williams, and the lefty shows bunt and bloops it foul. There's strike 1 to start off the frame. So final stat line from the penultimate reliever today, Patrick Gallet, the first one to step out of the bullpen. 1 2/3 scoreless, just a hit. 3 walks to his credit, though. Got out of that jam. 0-1 as Faulkner leans in for the sign. 0-1 on the way. Swing and a bounder to the right side. It's cueing towards the chalk and rolls just foul as Early picks it up a little too early.
A little too late, you could say, actually. Maybe if he charged it, he might have been able to keep that one fair, but did not.
Nonetheless, strike 2. Jacob Faulkner, only Ivy Leaguer on the Gateman roster. We won't spoil too much from our chat with him this morning as we await the arrival of a very fun Wareham Whip Around episode that we recorded this morning.
Can't believe we haven't talked about it all day. This is something you're not going to want to miss, folks.
Still some good nuggets in there that we could share on the broadcast. Let's call it a tease. How about that?
Sure.
0-2 pitch from Faulkner. Swing and a line drive foul. I thought the most interesting thing that Faulkner shared with us as being a Princeton Tiger, one, no one transfers in or out of the Ivy League. I think that's easy to say considering the academics.
Yes, definitely.
But it puts kids in interesting positions with such strong academics there. 0-2, first batter, bottom 6. It's Williams at the dish. And the next offer is just high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And first of all, balancing your academics as a student athlete, period, regardless of sport or school, is already tough enough. When you throw Ivy League into that conversation, I mean, goodness. I believe, didn't Faulkner say he was an economics major?
Yes, I believe so. 1-2, sets with a closed stance, bends at the waist and delivers. Swing and a hard chopper in the hole and through to left field. Leadoff hit for Jordan Williams, his 2nd single of the afternoon. There's a runner on with no outs as Daniel Jackson, the 9-hole hitter, steps up. He's 0 for 2. And what Faulkner was rather open about was with the academics and then other factors like being from Florida, going up to New Jersey, that it was really frustrating for him and made him appreciate it more, the whole existence of baseball in his life, when he was ineligible academically sophomore year of college. First pitch, a strike to the righty at the dish, Daniel Jackson. He was very open about that with us.
Yeah, and that's a guy he's a very self-reflective individual. And we asked him, talking about challenges and adversity that he's gone through that has made him into the pitcher who he is today, and he had no problem talking about it.
Pick off to first. It's not in time.
Shared what lessons he learned and cleaned up his act, got back in there, hit the books, and got on the mound.
And the rest is history. All Ivy 2nd team. 0-1 delivery is a slider way outside to the righty. Runner on first here, no outs, just getting the bottom of the 6th started as a dog is really yelping behind us. We've got a golden retriever, and then I think that's a schnauzer making friends over here. 1-1. Faulkner delivers, and it's low. 2-1 count with Daniel Jackson at the dish. I get distracted easily.
Guess what? I'm going to allow it because it's dogs.
Thank you.
Because I would too.
2-1. Faulkner, ball and glove, letter high. He turns and burns over to first, and the pickoff is not in time.
So the full episode consists of not just Jacob Faulkner, but we had Nate Early in there, and Tate McGuire, Cole Lehman as well. So a fabulous 4.
2-1 pitch with a runner on. Swing and a miss. Slider, and he was way out in front. 2-2 count.
Tate and Cole, of course, are roommates, and they were roommates.
And they were roommates. Interesting bunch, those two. They talked a lot of golf with us this morning.
Yes, they did.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And another offer over to first, this time a bang-bang tag, but still not in time. So speaking of being matter-of-fact with us, Cole Lehman and Tate McGuire were pretty straight up about their approach golfing with one another as a scramble team. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Runner goes, throw down to second, got him! Double play, strike him out, throw him out. A nice toss by Rivera, his third caught in his short campaign as a Gateman. And quickly the bases are empty with 2 away.
How about this kid's arm? UCF product. Rivera just playing in his 3rd game. He's got now 4 caught stealings. 4 out of the 6 guys that have tried to steal bags on him, he's gunned them down.
And they flip it to the top of the order, but no ducks in the pond for Chayton Cross, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch to the righty. It's a called strike, knee high on the outside edge. Cole Lehman, Tate McGuire golf together a lot. As a matter of fact, I believe they said their host parent is affiliated with some sort of golf course.
Yeah, I can't quite remember exactly how he put it.
0-1 is fouled straight back. 0-2 count with 2 away bases empty, bottom 6, and it's 4-0 Chatham.
Regardless, they get some free golf.
Yeah, so they golf a lot. And Cole, Tate, typical ball players who golf. Neither of them scratch, but Cole was willing to admit that the approach is pretty much Tate McGuire tees off because he's the better golfer, and then Cole just gives it a rip, and if he's lucky, he gets it in the fairway and perhaps slightly farther than Tate. 0-2 with 2 away, swing and a miss, got him way out in front on the Frisbee, and facing the minimum is Faulkner in his 2nd inning of relief. We'll continue this conversation about golf, but first the Gatemen want to get some offense going as we head top 7, but before we do, let's toss it to the 3rd member of our team, Madison Walker.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I mean, Faulkner's looking pretty strong out there on the mound. He's usually pretty consistent for us, but he's keeping it scoreless, which is definitely what we need in a game like right now when they have so many more hits than us. But, you know, trying to keep it positive, Colby Turner's actually had a pretty solid game. He hasn't been super aggressive at the plate, but defensively he's looked pretty strong earlier in the bottom of the 2nd. He had that diving play for an out. He turned 2 earlier. I mean, he's just looked really kind of put together and very aware when he's out there defensively. I think he's a great player out there for us, and definitely someone I would want behind me if I was on the mound, someone that you know you can trust to make those catches, make those plays, you know, get those out. So that's more on a positive note. I'm hoping what you said, we can get a little momentum going, get a little more aggressive at the plate, get a little more hits on that board, but we'll see how it goes. I got a good feeling. Sometimes, you know, they like to turn it around in the later innings. So let's hope it's one of those nights for us. But that's all I got for you. So as of now, I'm going to throw it back to you two.
Thanks, Madison. Let's trust her gut and say that the bats can get hot again, right? We've got Putnam early and hot due up, and it's the 2nd inning of relief for Devin Presley as the Gatemen are down 4-0, and we are in the top of the 7th here at Veterans Field. Good part of the order to try and spark something here, Ethan.
Yeah, definitely. You got the heart of the order coming up. One of your hottest bats as well, Eli Putnam, who's got a 0-for-1 night going right now with a hit by a pitch. So, hey, this guy leaves something out over the plate. This game could turn on its head rather quickly.
And Eli Putnam could certainly be the guy who turns that around. He's been red hot recently. 385 average in his last 8 games. He's got back-to-back contests with a homer. So he'll be the first one to face Devin Presley here. Just 2 hits for Wareham today. 10 allowed by Gatemen pitchers as the Chatham offense is in full form here. Including this one, just 4 games to go in the regular season as the Gatemen try and make it to the finish in a sprint. Right now, just trying to find their stride. They have clinched a playoff spot, first time in 5 years. Now it's a matter of seeding. They're at third in the West right now. First pitch from Presley on the way, and it's down low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Presley stands statuesque as he awaits the sign. Now he kicks and deals. Swing and a miss over a slider, 1-1. What a well-manicured field we have in front of us. Great crowd. Smattering of fans along the lining of the right field wall with a berm out there. 1-1 pitch, swing and a hard grounder. Up the middle, it dies out in the grass. Charging, forehand grab by Lodis, the shortstop, the throw in time, and there's one away.
Well, Kyle, it's one of the more charming aspects of Veterans Field. It's just how perfect this field is manicured, like you said. And a fun fact about it, this comes from Jim Nowork, a longtime employee of the Cape League and of the Anglers. A very nice older gentleman who shared with me last time we were here, actually, that every season a crew from Fenway Park makes its way out to Veterans Field, and they laser edge the field.
Wow. Talk about being laser perfect with it. That makes a lot of sense. First pitch from Nate Early, and he fouls that one straight back. 0-1 count with one away and the base is empty.
And we know the reputation here in Chatham. This is the destination for anyone who wants to come and watch a Cape Cod League baseball game, so it comes as no surprise that they would go to such lengths.
No balls, 1 strike and 1 away. Presley, righty on lefty, he deals, and a curveball swung on and rolled hard, but right at the second baseman Davis. He gobbles it up, throws to first. It's in time. 2 ground outs to start the inning. You know, we did learn another fun fact, groundskeeping-wise, with Jim Nowork. He told us a little fun fact about Ryan Smythe, the field manager of the Wareham Gatemen. When Jim Nowork worked with Ryan Smythe, formerly a PA at Brewster, Smythe, a longtime assistant coach with the Brewster Whitecaps here in the Cape, he learned a special skill of Ryan Smythe's that hailed from time he spent with Keystone College during the non-summer months of every year. It's been a while for him now. First pitch is outside as Byram Hott digs in. He's 0 for 2. He told us that Smythe is one heck of a lawn designer. If you get him a compression-tired mower, he can line those fields up. I guess he got that experience from working at a golf course.
Well, we got a taste of that, didn't we?
I believe we did, yeah. He was working the push mower. 1-0 pitch is swung on and top to the left side. This time it's the third baseman. 3 ground outs in a row to end the inning. So the groundskeeping got beat up a little bit, but in favor of Chatham as they get 3 grass cutters to finish the side. So it's time to stretch in Chatham as the Anglers lead it 4-0 over the Gatemen. Bottom 7 up next in the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
PC is a Massachusetts-based leading-edge real estate closing, title, settlement, and personal injury and litigation law firm. Our clients trust us to provide the most comprehensive real estate closing and litigation services in Massachusetts. Our full network of closing and settlement attorneys, agencies, and litigators have expanded throughout New England and beyond. We deliver on that trust and reliance by offering the best professional prompt assistance, advanced technology, and state-of-the-art closing services in the real estate law and litigation business today. Our commitment to excellence, honest reputation, and tradition of aggressive representation to provide quality legal services is what we will continue to demonstrate at Sync Law. We believe and will prove that successfully addressing client needs requires more than just knowledge of the law. It requires a mastery of good representation and an attitude to finalize every transaction to my client's satisfaction. Live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law.
Four 0 Chatham, bottom 7 in Veterans Field. Kyle Marchak alongside Ethan Eibe. Wareham Gatemen down by a 4-run deficit. Not a lot of offense for them to talk about today, but the bullpen's been strong. A combined 3 innings scoreless from the bullpen so far. And Jackson Lucas will continue to look to continue that trend as he takes the bump. The right-hander out of NC State will make his 10th appearance for the Gatemen this year. The reliever with a 6.94 ERA and 11 2/3. He's coming off one of his better outings of the year when he threw 4 scoreless outs back on the 26th. Ethan, we could look for some more bullpen action to try and set a good trend here, keep the Gatemen in it.
Yeah. Bullpen's been solid today between Gallet and Faulkner. Hopefully Lucas can continue that trend. Those first 3 innings with Brock Eddy on the mound, that's when Chatham scored all of their runs. So hopefully they can keep it going.
10 hits for Eric Beatty's Anglers today. 4 extra base hits, one of them a home run. That's what started the offense. Robin Villeneuve, who's due up on deck in this inning. For now, it's Ashton Larson to dig in. He's 2 for 3. Pair of singles and a ground out. So the left-handed bat out of LSU will get things started. Like you and I talked about in the previous half inning, Chatham, a premier destination. Just one of those teams. And with that, it makes the recruiting really easy. And they've had some turnover in the past couple of weeks now. But first, here's Jackson Lucas, righty on lefty to start the bottom of the 7th. He turns, kicks, and fires. Swing and a chopper on the first pitch. Charging the shortstop hot. He collects, throws. The toss is low, but Putnam dug it out, and there's one down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Kyle, the turnover goes all the way up to the top, actually. Not just this roster, but their field manager, who started this season as a first-year skip, Jeremy Sheetinger, resigning due to personal family reasons. That was just a couple of weeks ago, and it's been Eric Beatty ever since, their pitching coach, stepping up. He was the manager of the Harper Hawks last year.
One away. Here's the right-handed bat of Villeneuve. 1 for 2, a homer and a strikeout, as well as a walk. First pitch floater is in there. 0-1. And then the players, too. I mean, especially some big names. Eibe Arquette and Ike Irish, who are both all-stars, left right after that Midsummer Classic. 0-1 pitch on the way. And the Heaters let her high for ball 1.
And you can't leave out Austin Overn either. He was their leadoff man for the majority of the first half, and he was picked in the 3rd round by the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, it's not a bad reason to lose someone. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. The pitch and another off speed, but this time low. 2-1 count. They had a heck of a showing at the All-Star game, though. Eibe Arquette went 1 for 3. He had an RBI. And Ashton Larson, who just grounded out, went 2 for 3. Next pitch, it's a called strike. 2-2 count with 1 away. No one on base. Bottom 7, and it's 4-0. Chatham Anglers lead the Wareham Gatemen in their final meeting between these 2 interdivisional foes in the 2024 regular season. 2-2 offer. It's down low. Full count.
And for Eibe Arquette, it's actually a pretty interesting reason why he's no longer with the Anglers. As you know, he was part of the Washington Huskies team, and he's now entered the transfer portal, so he's going around making some recruiting visits, and pretty soon here he'll decide on where he'll spend his next season. He is one of the top recruits in the transfer portal this year.
Full count, 1 away. The pitch is inside and down low. 1 out walk and a runner on for Campbell Smithwick. He's 1 for 3 with a double.
Now batting for the Anglers, the catcher from Ole Miss, number 12, Campbell Smithwick.
Double back in the 3rd, came around to score. That was that 2-run inning for the Anglers. They've been blanked 3 innings in a row since, as the bullpen has taken over and done a nice job with it. Righty on lefty. And a modest lead for Villeneuve off of first. Lucas kicks and fires. Down low. One ball and no strikes. And the offer. That one runs outside. Tried to give him the changeup there. Two 2-0 with 1 down. Lucas looking in for the side. He peeks over his left shoulder over at first. Now he sets, kicks, and the pitch. Check swing on a heater outside. He didn't go around, and it's a 3-0 count. Smithwick brings a lot of value to this team. He's mainly featured as the catcher for Ole Miss, but a lot like someone that we know on our team, Smithwick can play a lot of positions. He's been featured in the corner infield spot and the outfield as well. Mainly tested in the outfield at Ole Miss, as a matter of fact. 3-0 pitch to him. There's a strike. 3-1.
Reminiscent of Sam White, you could say.
Gotta love a catcher who can play other positions, and Sam White's pretty much an outfielder who happens to play catcher at this point. He plays left field like every day for us. 3-1 with one away, bottom 7, and a runner on first. Lucas sets, and the pitch. Swing and a line drive, hooked foul down the right field line. And he works to a full count. Three balls and 2 strikes with one away, bottom 7. Lucas with a deep breath, and the pitch. Called strike 3, framed him up with the fastball, a backwards K, and there's 2 down.
That's a nice pitch there from Lucas. Well located, inner half of the plate, wasn't afraid.
The second baseman from Vanderbilt, number 30.
So Villeneuve still on first after that 1-out walk, but there's 2 away, and Jaden Davis steps up. He has done the damage today. 3 for 3. Double and a pair of singles. He's got a ribby as well. Davis squats in the right-handed batter's box. Runner on first with 2 away, and the pitch. Curveball swung on and topped foul. Think he was sitting fastball there?
Yeah.
No balls, 1 strike. Lights in full effect here at Veterans Field. Lucas kicks and the 0-1. Swing and a miss, way out in front of the breaker this time, an 0-2 count with 2 away.
Yeah, why not go back to it?
Perhaps the off-speed, the key to figuring out Jaden Davis, who's been hitting today. And kind of breaking out of a slump with this game. Hitting just 156 in his last week. No balls, 2 strikes, and time is called. Pitch clock violation, I believe, and they're going to throw a ball on the board. 1-2 now.
Well, second violation we've seen from the Gatemen staff today.
I was afraid they were going to call a balk, which the Gatemen lead the league in that category, too. But just a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 away, and a runner on. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just outside. The home plate umpire, Jim Fonseca, flinched as if he was going to call strike 3, but it's a 2-2 count. So 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Lucas ready. And the pitch. Swing and a bounder right to Nate Early, who gloves it hat high and touches first for out number 3. 1 left. It was a walk from Villeneuve. Otherwise, nothing doing. On a pair of groundouts and a strikeout from Lucas in his first inning of relief. Bullpen still cruising, but the Gatemen are down 4-0 as we head to the 8th at Veterans Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
10 hits, 4 runs for Chatham, 2 hits, no runs for the Wareham Gatemen. As we enter the top of the 8th here at Veterans Field, Wareham's final visit to the beautiful Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. Kyle Marchak alongside Ethan Eibe. It's a 4-0 score, and Ethan's having problems with his chair right now.
It's no big deal. No worries at all. I'm only halfway to the ground. No big deal.
We're a gritty team. We'll figure it out. Gatemen definitely in a grind right now. Again, just 2 knocks on the afternoon, and Rivera, who steps up to the dish, is one of those hits. He's 1 for 1, a single and a walk. He had Sam White, who's on deck, follow up with a single. Back in the 3rd inning, neither would find their way to home. Devin Presley, 3rd inning of relief here. The righty from GW kicks and deals. First pitch, flared foul. Laid on the high heat is Rivera. No balls of 1 strike to start off the 8th. Rivera, just his 4th game for the Wareham Gatemen. Catcher picked up to fill out that trio of backstops that the Gatemen want. A 1 pitch and a slider's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. First batter of the 8th here. One for 5 coming into this, so bolstering the batting average with his 2nd knock on the season. 1-1 pitch. Presley lets it fly, and he chases a curveball way low. 1-2. We've talked about the charm of this ballpark, the charm of this town, and along with it is a young man by the name of Jim Nowork that you and I have talked about a couple of times on the broadcast today, Ethan. And one of the nice gestures, other than just his presence that he offered us, was a collection of baseball cards that he gave us.
Yeah, well, he mentioned he was the longtime Brewster Whitecaps PA announcer of 26 years, retired from that, moved back to Chatham.
1-2, a swing and a miss. He chases the curveball low. It's a strikeout, and Rivera is down. So there's 1 away, as you were saying.
These days, he runs the 50-50 raffle here at Veterans Field. So he, of course, chatted us up pregame, and he was also offering up some free baseball cards of the 60s, 70s, and the 1980s to anyone who would want some. And he claimed to have had like 10 extremely large boxes of these. Like they had gotten a gift of like 100,000 junk wax cards at some point along the way. And he packages them up, a lot of former anglers among these major leaguers, of course, and puts them in random packs of 6. And so he gave us a whole box.
First pitch to Sam White, rolls all the way to the backstop. 1 ball and no strikes with 1 away. Ethan, you know a thing or two about baseball cards.
I mean, yeah, I like to collect. I also like to organize them in an Excel spreadsheet that's got 15,000 entries in it, but that's neither here nor there.
That's just a hobby of yours, you know, nothing crazy.
Yeah, you know.
1-0 to the lefty Sam White, and that pitch upstairs, 2-0 count.
I also like to collect older cards, too.
Yeah, you've got a ridiculous collection, and not to mention your style of organization. And as I watch you finger through these cards, it's, I'm watching a guy who's really knowing what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm looking at 1990 tops right here, which is pretty cool. 88, 92.
You could tell us the market value of these cards off the top of your head, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could ballpark it.
2-0 pitch, and Sam White watches another fastball fuzz by him upstairs. 3-0 count with 1 away, and the base is empty. Top 8, and the Gatemen down 4-0 here in Chatham.
If I'm going to go for older cards, older for my time, these are the cards that my dad was collecting when he was growing up, but it's because they have some sort of impact on the present part of the game that I know.
Backdoor slider in there. 3 balls and 1 strike to Sam White.
And I'm holding a 1990, coincidentally, card number 666 of Randy St. Clair from the Cincinnati Reds, who once was the Marlins pitching coach of old.
3-1 with 1 away. Here's the offer. Swing and a flare straight back, a foul ball. And it's a 3-2 count.
I don't know if that's a bad sign, Kyle. That was the first card I pulled out of the pack. That's really not my doing.
That is bizarre. I do have a basketball card here. I've got a Terrell Brandon NBA top prospects card. He was a Cleveland Cavalier.
Okay.
3-2 with one away. Top 8. Gatemen looking for just their third hit as they're down 4-0. And Devin Presley working away in his third inning of relief. Just 2 pitchers necessary for the Anglers today. Ready on lefty, he comes set at the letters. And the full count offer. Swing and a miss. He swung right over the changeup. 2 strikeouts to start the inning.
Well, it's been 8 straight put down by Devin Presley here. Quite a performance we've seen. But back to the baseball cards. I'm looking at 1988 Donruss, which is one of my favorite older sets. And, you know, they call it the junk wax era. Those years, 70s, 80s, 90s as well, because those cards were so massively overproduced to the point where a lot of them lost a lot of value. Specifically, you know, one thing that really comes to mind is the 1989 Ken Griffey Jr. Rookie card of Upper Deck.
First pitch, swung on and missed. Colby Turner stepping up. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of lineouts.
If that card's graded and, you know, nicely kept, sure, that'll fetch you a nice sum, but it was a pretty massively overproduced card.
0-1 deal, swung on and rolled, just fouled on the third base line, an 0-2 count with 2 away. Presley working away with 10 straight batters retired. Yeah, these are still pretty cool just to look through all of these old cards. And you just like hope to basically just see a big name in their rookie season, right? Is that pretty much the end goal?
Yeah, you know, that's part of the attraction is, oh, here's someone that I know. Dan Plesac.
No balls, 2 strikes, kick in a pitch. Swinging a line drive out to short and caught at the shoelaces for the shortstop Lodis, who finds out number 3 in his lever. How about 11 straight retired by Devin Presley in relief? And the Anglers continue to roll. They're on top 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. On the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off in 2024. And our first guest, as we get to know you, is Tony Pluta, right-handed pitcher out of Arizona. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Tony. Well, you're from Chicago, so what brought you out west to Arizona?
So my recruiting coordinator at Arizona knew my high school coach really well and knows that whole area very well, so just kind of how I got connected with them.
Gotcha. So they reached out to you in high school. You told me you topped out at 95 in high school, so pretty easy to get noticed?
Yeah, that definitely helps, but, you know, going to all the tournaments and all that kind of thing helps.
Okay, well, on top of that, you've developed some accolades in your short career in college baseball so far. You were in the Northwoods last year, and then college ball treated you well in 2024. Your spring was pretty fun. How about that Pac-12 championship? What was that like?
It was amazing, especially being the last Pac-12 championship. It was an awesome feeling to win the last Pac-12 game ever.
Yeah, and then Brennan Summerhill, your Gateman teammate, hit the walk-off. So is it cool to share that moment with your Summer teammate as well?
Oh yeah, it's great. Every moment with Summer is something special, so it's great to have a teammate like that.
Speaking of Summer, you've been to a lot of different baseball destinations. This is kind of your first one for an extended period of time out east. Where does Wareham rank all time?
It's pretty great. I mean, the Northwoods was definitely its own thing, but I love Wareham. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. We made it to home plate, so my final question for you, what's the goal this summer?
Just pitch well, throw strikes, and get guys out.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Kyle.
Second inning of relief for Jackson Lucas, and the Wareham Gatemen take the field here. Bottom 8, and the offense for Chatham. The stars of the show so far. They lead at 4-0 over Wareham with 10 hits in the afternoon, 4 of which extra bases. First pitch to Ty Johnson, and the lefty watches a fastball outside. 6, 7, 8 due up, Johnson, Lodis, and Williams. But really any part of the order has done the damage for Chatham today. 1-0 on the way, and it's down low for ball 2. Kyle Marchak alongside Ethan Eibe on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Perhaps just an inning of baseball ahead of us here, so let's continue to talk about these baseball cards that Jim Nowork, longtime volunteer and participant of all the festivities here in Chatham and throughout the Cape, has given us. 2-0 pitch, a check swing on a slider low. He didn't go around. A 3-0 count to the first hitter, bottom 8 here.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, Nowork packages up these older cards, 60s, 70s, 80s, in packs of 6. He rubber bands them and he hands them out at his 50-50 station. Just, why not? Spread the love of baseball cards.
3-0 pitch, and that one is outside. 4-pitch walk for Lucas to start the inning. I finally found a name that I recognize, Vince Coleman.
Vince Coleman doesn't ring a bell.
Really? Vince Coleman, outfielder, St. Louis. I feel like he went on to have a lengthy career, but maybe I'm just silly.
Well, here's Lance McCullers.
That's a name you should recognize for multiple reasons.
Well, his son's a world champion with the Houston Astros right about now, but I'm holding his 1991 Score Tigers card.
Kevin Gross, that's a Philly. Ooh, how about this? Would a rookie Babe Ruth card be of any value?
Well, yeah, okay, but tell me the real story.
It's just Bob Walk.
Close enough.
Anyways, brief break of action, and now Lucas ready with a runner on. No outs, and the first pitch, a slider, and it's outside and all the way to the backstop. Moving to second with ease is Johnson. He rounds second and stops there. Kyle Lodise at the dish. He's 0 for 2.
Todd Benzinger, first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. Got his Donruss 91 card here. He was the guy who caught the final out of the 1990 Cincinnati Reds World Championship.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. Last time the Reds were on top of the world.
1 ball and no strikes. Bottom 8 here, 4-0 Chatham lead. Lucas kicks and the pitch. Lodise goes fishing and fouls off a slider. I think that one caught a piece of Rivera from behind home plate, so he's going to take a second. You know, when you're so into baseball cards or just baseball in general, like Ethan Eibe is, your knowledge of baseball becomes encyclopedic.
I mean, that's kind of how I got into baseball. You know, I'm probably going to ballpark at 2011, 2012, and that's when I started following Major League Baseball and collecting cards from that era. Just, that was really a special experience growing up and studying those cards as much as I did. I learned so much. So they do have an impact.
Oh, it's all cool stuff. My father got me into it as well. I recently discovered his old stash. Leadoff walk to Johnson. He's on second after a wild pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the third offer to Lodise. Curveball is swung on and missed. Way out in front on the off speed. 1-2.
Did find a Dan Plesac card from his Milwaukee Brewers days, his Brewers days. MLB Network analyst these days.
1-2. I actually have a funny story about baseball cards. Lucas looks to second, now the pitch to home, and it's bounced in the dirt, 2-2 count.
What do you got?
My mother, being the social butterfly that she is, met a random man in Vegas one time.
Okay.
Why a random man was talking to my mother in Vegas, you know, I was already upset. I'm like, don't talk to my mother. She's a married woman.
Were you there?
No.
Were you even born?
No, I was alive. This was
okay.
actually like 2 years ago. Jokes aside, though, he was Jack Lazorko, a former pitcher in the majors.
Okay.
Swung on and missed on the 2-2 slider. Strikeout for out number 1 for Lucas. Runner on second and 1 away. So weirdly enough, Lazorko didn't have anything spectacular in his career. I believe he was a Pittsburgh Pirate. Had his cup of coffee and then some in the league. Stayed for about 5 to 7 seasons, somewhere in that ballpark. And this was right around when my father had rehashed the old box of baseball cards. All just like, you know, tops from, let's say, the 90s. So you're getting a bunch of 80s, 90s players and then a couple of stashes since then. 1 away in the first pitch to the left-handed bat of Jordan Williams. A called strike at the knees with a runner on second here. Would you not be surprised for me to find a Jack Lazorko card later that afternoon?
Wow.
I mean, are the odds of that incredibly low? Not necessarily. But definitely a funny coincidence.
Yeah, what a coincidence. What team did he play for?
He was a Pirate, I believe. I could be completely wrong. 0-1 with 1 away. Swing and a miss. Over another slider way out in front was Williams. It's an 0-2 count with 1 away. All right, let's see how accurate I was.
Jack Lazorko. Dun-dun-dun. A Brewer, a Mariner, a Tiger, and a California Angel. And there is your memory of Kyle Marchak.
I wasn't even close. I just picked a random team at that point.
Oh, man.
That is so good.
That was some comedy there.
That is Kyle Marchak's memory at its finest.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so I guess he spent parts of 5 seasons, 84 to 88 in the big leagues,
With
pitching.
every team except the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh, that's awesome.
You must be a great Immaculate Grid player.
I'm actually, sure enough, I'm awful. I'm awful at Immaculate Grid, and I'm a diehard baseball fan. 0-2. And the pitch. Swing and a roller out towards the right side. Picking it up is Early. A throw to first, covering the pitcher to Lucas. He beats him out to first. And there's 2 away on the ground out. Runner moves to third as Johnson stands 90 feet away from home plate.
Number 10, Daniel Jackson.
You know, I once created a baseball board game in my maybe third or third grade era. I made like a little baseball board game. I think it might have been for a class project, but I think I tried to make it a real thing.
Commercialize it?
Oh, yeah. I think I called it Baseball Omania. And it was basically a rip-off of Monopoly, but for baseball.
Daniel Jackson is the 9-hole hitter, and he steps in. Pair of ground outs and a strikeout. Over. Lucas turns and fires. Big falling floater in there for a strike. 0-1 with 2 away and a runner on third. Bottom 8, 4-0 Chatham.
I really don't remember much about how the game worked exactly, but I do know that I used baseball cards in the game. It's like a point system.
0-1, swinging a tapper behind home plate. 0-2.
You would land on a space that would say like draw a card or something, and you'd have a stack of baseball cards in there. And I think if there was I had hitter cards and I had pitcher cards. And you would get a certain amount of points based on how many hits that player had in his career on the back of the baseball card.
Oh.
Or strikeouts if it was a pitcher card, which makes absolutely no sense to me anyways.
0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Lucas. He leaves one stranded after the leadoff walk, and the Anglers could not produce any insurance runs. So it's just up to the Gatemen. They're down 4-0, looking for a comeback as we head to the top of the 9th at Veterans Field and the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our next installment of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're joined by a Wareham Gatemen infielder out of Fresno State, Murph Gray. You ready to roll?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, how was the Cape trip choose your destination this summer?
Honestly, pretty great. I love it out here. The weather's nice. The people are great, and I'm playing with some of the best, so I love it.
Warm weather, too, I guess kind of akin to California being from there?
Yeah, pretty similar. I'd say it's more humid here, but I mean, it's more dry heat in California.
Gotcha. All right, well, before you were Mountain West Freshman of the Year, you had a pretty good high school athletic career. I heard you played basketball. Were you a good hooper?
Yeah, I was a decent hooper. I played some center, some power forward. I did all right.
Okay, you were kind of forcing that center role. I mean, you're 6'4", 6'5". I guess you were the tallest kid on the team?
Oh, yeah, for sure the tallest on the team, so I kind of got forced into that.
Okay, well, another thing that you did that you don't do now was pitch in high school. Is it true that you tossed a perfect game?
Yeah, so that was our first game of the season. I tossed a perfect game, and it was honestly just kind of weird and surreal since I wasn't going to be a pitcher at the next level, so it was just...
Okay. And then where did that transition happen where you decided to just become a hitter?
I want to say about my junior year of high school, I was more focused on hitting, just becoming a better hitter, kind of bettering myself, and then I love hitting. It's my passion. So.
Well, you're pretty good at it. You're on a hot streak right now, and you hit 3 home runs in a matter of 48 hours at the beginning of this week, too. So we're glad to have you. My final note on that, to get to know you before we end this session, your birth certificate says Tristan. So where did the name Murph come from?
So the name Murph comes from the movie Like Mike, one of my favorite movies. Little white kid in there named Murph. Super pale, super white, and then when I was born, I was the same way, super pale, so the nickname just kind of stuck.
4-0 Chatham, and we head to the top of the 9th as the Gatemen look for their first hit since the 3rd inning. Just 2 knocks for Wareham today, and just 2 arms necessary out of the bullpen for the Anglers, as well as they finally pull a second arm out of the pen. It's J.D. McReynolds, the right-hander, out of the University of Central Missouri.
And these bats have gone silent, but this pitching staff for Chatham has been on their game today, between Lucas Hartman going the first 5, allowing just a couple of hits. Gatemen haven't had a hit since that 3rd inning, and Devin Presley coming on 9 up, 9 down with 4 strikeouts. Couldn't ask for anything more.
And Gatemen retired 11 in a row as well. Looking to continue that streak in just his 2nd appearance for Chatham is J.D. McReynolds. He's got the top of the order, Johan Desero, 0 for 3. Righty on lefty. First pitch to the left-handed bat out of Stetson. The offer. And a fastball's up high for ball 1. McReynolds, in his debut, that was at Bourne back on the 25th. Through 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 earned runs. That was 2 hits, 2 walks. One ball, no strikes. He strides and delivers. Called strike at the knees, 1-1. And I think members of the Gatemen dugout disagreed with that call. As Home plate umpire Jim Fonseca takes a peek over to the dugout. 1-1. Here's the offer. Swing and a line drive out to right center field, and it drops into the grass and rolls all the way to the front of the track. Desereau rounds first and stops there. A base hit.
Well, that's nice to see for the Gatemen, who haven't had a hit since the third inning. And for Desereau, that now gives him hits in 12 of his last 14 ball games.
Desereau's been a savior of this lineup that struggled in the second half. Michael Lippy looking to get hot himself. He's 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. He's struck out 30 times this season. And pardon me, they're going to try and find a spark a different way. So they actually bring in Antonio Jimenez, who, weirdly enough, wasn't in the lineup originally today. The right-handed power bat from the University of Central Florida.
Well, thought he might pinch hit later in the ball game, given the day off, but given this situation and the need.
Jimenez tied 6th in the league alongside 2 others on the Gatemen roster with 5 homers. Hasn't had one in over 3 weeks, though. He's got a runner on first, and the Gatemen are down 4-0 with no outs, top 9. First pitch to Jimenez. And a slider misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. One 0. And a floater in there, let her high on the inside edge. 1-1 count. Jimenez, a .225 hitter. And a kid who can walk, too. Leads this team with 17 bases on balls so far. 1-1 count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Out in front on the slider, 1-2 count. And we saw this yesterday, too, for Smythe. Just plugging and playing different faces throughout the order in the latter half of the game to try and spark something offensively. 1-2 pitch from McReynolds. Outside, 2-2 count. Jimenez was actually the recipient of a substitution yesterday after going 0 for 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McReynolds steps off the back of the rubber as he looks to reset and rehashes plan with Smithwick as he pops out of his stance and rolls up to the mound. Probably just talking fantasy football right now or something.
At this point, I think they're talking about how many baseball cards they can get from our friend over there.
Yeah.
After this game's over, Mr. Jim.
Back in the day, they probably actually were talking about trading baseball cards.
Yeah, that's what you did. You would put these cards in the spokes of your bicycle, or at least that's the way that I was told it used to work.
Just to make the bike sound cool?
Yeah.
I forgot that was a thing.
If you had, a certain guy in there, who might give you a couple extra brownie points in the neighborhood.
That's true. Good times. Take me back. All right, we reset. 2-2 count. Jimenez at the dish. McReynolds kicks and fires. And it's fouled straight back to the screen.
If I had to, label a vibe on Chatham as a whole, it is all of the kids in the neighborhood coming out to play.
Yep.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
100%. You're in a little bit of a town center here, and you just want to go out and play ball. You got the lights shining on a great high school field and one of the prettiest towns in the entire league.
No, you could say that eloquently.
2-2. Here's the offer. Swing and a miss. Beat him with the fastball. Down on strikes is Jimenez in his pinch hit opportunity. And there's one away with a runner on first. Gatemen still down 4-0 here, top 9. Gatemen batters have struck out 10 times today. That about sums up their struggles at the dish. Now it's up to Reese Chapman. He's struck out twice, 0 for 3. Lefty at the dish from Tennessee. Desereau still on first. Here's the first offer, and it's a called strike on the outside edge. Looked a little high, but in there nonetheless. 0-1 count. McReynolds sets on the first base side of the rubber. Ball and glove at the belt. He strides and fires. And a swing and a foul straight back to the screen. 0-2. Gatemen came into this contest leading the season series over Chatham, 2-1. And in their lone visit to this ballpark, they bashed the Anglers. 0-2 on the way. And a fastball just off the dish, knee high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two count with 1 away. McReynolds ready. With a runner on first, he turns and delivers. Curveball cut on and missed. Pulled out the frisbee for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks after a leadoff hit, and the Gatemen are down to their final out.
The third baseman, number 11, Eli Putnam.
Eli Putnam, the final breath of life for the Gatemen. Down 4-0 top 9. And they've got just 3 hits today. Desero, one of them. He singled to start the inning. He's still on first. McReynolds sets, kicks, and delivers the pitch. And it's a slider away. 1 ball and no strikes. In that first meeting with the Anglers, the Gatemen beat them. First meeting at Veterans Field. Beat them 8-2. The Anglers actually started the season series with an 11-1 victory on opening day at Spillane Field. 1-0 pitch. Broken bat, swing, and a bounder over to the right side, and a force out over at second as Davis made the play. The bat got sawed off and flew into the screen, but the ball ended up in time over at second as the Gatemen go down swinging. 4-0 final score as the Chatham Anglers win it. They're winners of 3 in a row, and the Gatemen are now on a 5-game losing skid, Ethan.
Yeah, just unbelievable stuff today from the Chatham pitching staff, completely fooling this Gatemen offense. We didn't see a whole lot of hard contact at all, plenty of ground balls, and they racked up 11 strikeouts as well. That base hit from Johan Desro was their first hit since the 3rd inning, so this has been an unfortunate skid, and there are peaks and there are valleys to every season, and right now this group is in that valley.
Gatemen, no runs, 3 hits. Chatham Anglers, 4 runs on 10 hits, 4 of which extra base knocks. And the one that really started the ball game and set the tone was a solo shot from Robin Villeneuve, the Texas Tech power hitter, a first baseman, struck one off of the starter in the 1st inning. So just not Eddie Brock's day out of Arizona State. He got the late nod for the start today, and yeah, he struggled as he takes the loss. And a wonderful outing by Lucas Hartman as he takes his win, his first one of the year. 5 innings pitched, no earned runs, 2 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts. It really was just an all-around Chatham day today.
No, they'll go back home tomorrow. We know they've struggled at home, especially in this second half, but you've got a chance to do something special here.
Well, the Anglers have already clinched a playoff spot, and so have the Gatemen. Anglers standing at 2nd in the East and can certainly keep that position as they're now at 19-18. They're above 500 for the first time in over a week, and the Gatemen now drop down to 20-16-1. So with that, we thank our entire crew with us. It's Joseph Patrick Henry and Allison DeWitt, our producers, 3rd member of our team, Madison Walker, and Ethan Eibe, of course, to my left. I'm Kyle Marchak saying so long. We'll catch you guys tomorrow versus Cotuit at 6 p.m. First pitch at Spillane Field. Make sure to stick around for the postgame show on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.